The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
It's our final day of broadcasting live from the NFL Combine here in Indy. Cam Ward came out and said he's, quote, hoping to be a Jet, plus the latest rumors on what the Jets are going to do in the draft. We'll cover that. Special guests will join us, and the winners of our 16th ASMANIAC Raffle are about to be announced. It's the Jake Asman Show, live from Radio Row at the Combine, and the show starts right now.
Live from Radio Row in Indianapolis, it's Combine time as teams look for their next superstar. Some of the biggest names in sports and entertainment will be right here. Get ready for the 2025 draft, baby. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go. Welcome in, everybody, and thanks for spending your week with us here on the channel. Big thank you to everyone who's tuned in to all the great content we have put out on the channel this week, whether it be Mike Tannenbaum, Chad Pennington, the list goes on and on and on, and we will definitely be joined by some big names throughout the day, our final day here in Indy. A couple quick announcements. Tomorrow, as Maniac Madness begins, Charles Gorman, Chris Grosso in the opening matchup in the chicken soup region. That is the 1 versus 16. So, if you haven't filled out a bracket yet, today's the last day you could do it. The bracket pool locks at 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. So get your picks in for a chance to win a bunch of prizes. Check it out. The link to fill out your bracket is in the description. Before we get to what Cam Ward had to say and what I'm hearing about the Jets being on the ground here in Indy, it is time to announce the winners of our 16th ASMANIAC Raffle. Let's go.
It's the ASMANIAC Membership Raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive one ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
We have epic prizes, folks. Epic prizes. Ladies and gentlemen, 7 winners are about to be announced. If you have been following the show, we've been doing raffles since December 1st. This is our 16th raffle. We're giving away today a signed Sauce Gardner jersey, a signed Nick Mangold jersey, a signed Jermaine Johnson jersey, a signed Mark Sanchez helmet, a signed Joe Klecko helmet, a signed Chad Pennington helmet, friend of the show, and a signed Mark Gastineau helmet. So, without further ado, Wheel of Names is ready. We have for this raffle a record 724 entries. I'm going to spin the wheel, and we will announce a winner. Prize number 1. You just saw it on the screen. The autographed jersey by Jets corner Sauce Gardner. The winner of the jersey is Jets Johnny. He's going up against Allen in the opening round of the tournament, and Jets Johnny is our first raffle winner. Congratulations to Johnny. If you win a prize in the raffle, you can't win another one in the same raffle, so we're going to remove Johnny's entries, and we will continue with our second prize, which, for those of you who've been following, it's a pretty damn good prize. Second place prize is an autographed jersey by Jets legend Nick Mangold. Here we go. Who's going to win the Mangold jersey? We find out right now. The wheels are spinning. Spinning and winning, as Walt Clyde Frazier would say. And the winner is Austrian Jet Fan. I got to send another package to Austria. Here we go. Oh, my goodness. Austria Jet Fan is your winner of the signed Nick Mangold jersey. Thank you very much for your support, Austrian Jet Fan. All right. That brings us to winner number 3. Spin it. And the winner of an autographed Jermaine Johnson jersey is Nicholas Alverson. Nicholas, I don't know if I have your information, so do me a favor and shoot me a message if you're on Patreon or Discord or an email, asmanjake@gmail.com. My email is in the description for every YouTube video that I post. Congratulations to Nicholas on the victory. All right, that brings us to our fourth place prize. Let's spin the wheel once again and find out who is going to win an autographed Mark Sanchez helmet. Here we go. And the winner is David Atkins. Hey, David's been a great supporter of the show. He wins a Sanchez helmet. David, do me a favor, shoot me an email or message me the address where I'm sending this to, and I will get it done this week when I get back from the combine. All right, let's continue. We've given away 4 prizes. We still have prize 5, 6, and 7 to give away. Our next prize that we're going to be giving away here on the show is a signed Joe Klecko helmet. Ladies and gentlemen, spin the wheel. The winner of the Klecko helmet is Ricky NY. How about that? Ricky, a great Jet fan, certainly deserving of the helmet. Congrats, Ricky. All right, let's keep going here. We got 2 more prizes to give away. Then let's get to some Jets talk here on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, our next prize is none other than an autographed Chad Pennington helmet. And here we go. Spin it. The winner of the signed Chad helmet is Julian Manfredo. Julian, congratulations. Well deserved. We got 1 prize left, and then I will announce the top 3 prizes for our next raffle. And you guys know the drill. The more memberships we get, the more epic prizes I can purchase and then give away and pay it forward back to the audience. But here we go. We got 2 prizes left. Or excuse me, we got 1 prize left. We've given away 6 so far. Our last prize is a signed Mark Gastineau helmet. Ladies and gentlemen, spin the wheel. And the winner is Gabe. Now, Gabe, I don't have your info, but your YouTube name was Gabe, and that's what I put you down with your super chat. So, Gabe, if you're out there, or if you're on Discord or Patreon, message me there. You're our last winner. So, just to recap, all the winners here of our ASMANIAC Raffle. All the winners are Jets Johnny, who is winning a signed Sauce jersey. Austrian Jet Fan, who wins a Mangled signed jersey. Nicholas Alverson, a signed Jermaine Johnson jersey. David Atkins, a signed Mark Sanchez helmet. Ricky NY, a signed Joe Klecko helmet. Julian Manfredo, a signed Chad Pennington helmet. And listener Gabe, who just won a signed Mark Gastineau helmet. Thank you all for your support. We will do more raffles. We'll continue to do them pretty much every week or bi-weekly, depending on the schedule. So we got a lot to look forward to on the show, and congrats again to all the winners. Now, with that said, you guys know I don't come empty-handed around here. Starting right now, all $20 super chats get you 5 raffle entries. All gifted memberships get you raffle entries. You get 5, you get 5, you get 10, you get 10. And the top 3 prizes, I'm pleased to announce a signed Hall of Fame inscription Curtis Martin Jets helmet. Prize number 2, a signed Darrelle Revis Island Jet helmet. And our final prize here in the top 3, a signed Don Maynard helmet. How about that? Notice a theme for this one? How about Hall of Famers? Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer. So thank you all for your support. Try to pay it forward with awesome gifts. You guys support me, so I want to do right by the audience. With that said, let's talk some Jets. Smash that like button and make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. I want to talk about what Cam Ward said this morning. You see the quote and you're thinking, whoa, this got me a little juiced up. Cam Ward said, quote, "I think the Jets are not too far off, maybe a couple pieces, and I'm just hoping I could be one of them." For the Jets to get Cam Ward, I find it hard to believe he would be there at 7. I think the Jets would have to trade up to get Cam Ward. Now, you see the quote on the screen? Why don't we hear from the potential Jets prospect at the podium about 30 minutes ago?
Be elite. especially with the receiver core they have, the defense they have. Being able to talk with their head coach for the first time was exciting. And so, I think the Jets are, not too far off. Maybe a couple pieces. I'm just hoping I can be one of them.
I'm hoping I could be one of them. Look, Cam's the one guy that I've been pretty consistent in saying, I believe if you're going to make a move for one of these quarterbacks, he's the one guy I'm comfortable doing. Like, I think you only trade up for quarterbacks that you see having, like, a top 10 ceiling. Like, I watched Shedeur Sanders, and I'm not saying he can't be a good quarterback, but I don't know if he's ever going to be, like, top 8 quarterback, top 5 quarterback. I think Cam Ward's got the skill set to potentially be that guy. So, if you want Cam Ward, you're going to have to trade up for him, which, look, maybe the Jets want to do it. We know the Jets met with him. Cam told you that. Said they had a good meeting with with Aaron Glenn. Look, if you're going to make this move, the key to me is what's the cost? Are you trading up to 1? Are you trading up to 2? Are you going out there and, potentially seeing if Cam could fall to maybe 5 with Jacksonville and swinging a deal with them? I mean, so much of this depends on what's going to happen in free agency, where, like, Matthew Stafford goes, right? Does that impact what the Giants do with their pick? They're obviously a quarterback-needing team. The Abdul Carter injury now. Tennessee, I think, was linked to, just taking Carter first overall. Well, now that Carter's dealing with an injury here, does he not go number 1? Does that change things at the top of the draft? Does Sam Darnold sign with the Titans? All of a sudden, they're like, we don't need to go quarterback this year. Sam will be our guy, and we'll draft someone in 2026 if it doesn't work out. So you basically need to see how the teams in front of you address quarterbacks, either in the trade market or free agency, before we can get a better idea on what it's going to potentially look like for the Jets in this draft. We know the Jets are going to add a veteran quarterback. Like, we know that. But if you're the Jets and you got a chance to get up to number 1 or number 2, how much are you willing to give up, right? Next year's first almost feels like a lock you'd have to give up. Are you comfortable doing that? Look, I'll say what I've always said with this. If you believe in the quarterback, go and get him. If you think Cam Ward's a franchise quarterback, the guy that this team has been missing, then you go and get him. But if you have concerns, if you have doubts, if you don't have 100% conviction, you can't justify trading that much. But here's the thing. If he's there at 5, probably doesn't cost you a 1 next year. Probably costs you your 3 this year, your 2 next year. Or your 2 this year and a 4th next year. It's not going to be an arm and a leg to only move up 2 spots. You're still giving them the number 7 pick in that trade. You're swapping from 5 to 7 if it's Jacksonville. And then you're in a situation where, okay, makes a lot more sense. Now, is it just Cam Ward they trade up for? Do they fall in love with one of the other quarterbacks like Shedeur Sanders? Do they fall in love with Tyler Shuck, who's sitting about 10 feet to my left right now? Jackson Dart? Any of these other quarterbacks, Will Howard, Kyle McCord, any of these guys going to rise to that level? Probably not. That'd be insane. But you see my point. It's a lot more feasible to move up from 5 or 7 to 5 than it is to go from 7 all the way to 1. And then the question is as well, the Raiders are there at 6, right? Are they acquiring Stafford? And if they acquire Stafford, are they no longer in on a quarterback at 6? Could you swing a deal to move up 1 if you had to? We saw the Vikings do that last year to guarantee themselves their quarterback. Remember, the Jets made a deal to go from 10 to 11 with Minnesota. They got some free picks. Wasn't, premium picks, but an extra 5th, right? Why not? So, look, I'm not against it. I just think you got to have complete conviction, and I think you got to understand what the cost is going to be. Someone's got to tell me what that cost. I don't want to give up, next year's 1 and 2, and then this year's 2 as well to move up to number 1 or 2. I just think that's too much. But, well, I might feel that way. If Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn think Cam's their guy, then fine. But they're starting the clock on their tenure if it doesn't go well. You know what I mean? Like, it's expedited if Cam Ward's Zach Wilson. If Cam Ward stinks. That's what we're weighing here. That's what we're talking about. All right, I'm going to play you guys a clip of Mike Tannenbaum on the show yesterday because I asked him if he could see the Jets trading up from number 7. Go watch the Tannenbaum interview. I appreciate all the feedback. I asked him some tough questions. I wasn't afraid, and we made it happen. And I appreciate Tannenbaum coming on. Now, I'm going to play you guys this clip, and then on the other side, we'll react to what Tannenbaum said and be joined by a good friend of the show to kick off our final day of live coverage from Radio Row at the Combine. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Tannenbaum with me yesterday talking about the Jets potentially trading up like he did for Mark Sanchez. You look at now this draft, they're in a unique spot with that 7th pick. Do you see Darren Muji, Aaron Glenn, if they love one of these quarterbacks, could they actually make the move and trade up for them? I mean, if you were, when you were the GM, you made bold, aggressive moves, and that led to a lot of success. Do you think Darren Muji has a little Tannenbaum in him and would actually trade up for a quarterback?
Well, I hope he doesn't have my appetite, so let's start there. Look, I think they'll do what they think is the right long-term move. And if we sat here and they traded up, I wouldn't be surprised. But likewise, like if they signed a veteran quarterback, maybe they trade back in year one and try to acquire, as many picks as possible. With 7 teams making the playoffs, things change a lot every year. I forgot what the stat is, but on average over the last decade, Jake, I think 3 or 4 new teams every year make.
I give the stat it's never the Jets, but it's 4 new teams on average that didn't make it the previous year, make it the following year.
Yep. So, again, there's a really good foundation here. All the oxygen and the headlines will be about the quarterback position. They'll make other moves as well, but I could see them. I'm sure that quarterback position will be addressed. I'm not saying they'll be aggressive from day one, but I'm sure they're paying attention to that.
That was Mike Tannenbaum with me yesterday on the show, and joining us right now is the co-founder of uStadium, a good friend of the show, Mr. Frankie V. Hello, Frankie.
Jay, good to see you, man. I got here a little late this year. I should have gotten here earlier in the week. I know you've been out and about. I've been hearing, you've been out on the town doing your things, but I'm happy to be here, man. I'm happy. It's a tough follow-up from Mike Tannenbaum, Chad Pennington, Frankie V. I don't know if I'm living up, but I'm happy to be here, man.
Now, I enjoy your appearances on the show. You get the chat riled up, and I love it, man. And look, we've had a lot of our regulars in person this week, which is always fun. For you, now that we're here, your level of excitement for the Jets to go out there next season, win 4 games or less, and be talking about quarterbacks again in 2026.
Listen, that's my dream come true, man. The 4 wins is everything for me.
Frank the Tank.
Yeah. No, Jake, in all seriousness, we're obviously going to get into it, but the Jets are doing a lot of work on quarterbacks. I'm hearing they're not looking to tank next season. So as much as you may think I want them to, or I might want them to get a better pick in 2026, they're actually, like Aaron Glenn said, they're looking to win now. So, and as they should. My situation is, how do you get the quarterback? When do you get the quarterback? Is it this year? Is it next year? You optimize your chances to get a quarterback next year, I think, if you're not having to move up. But we'll see what happens.
100%. And look, before we even talk about moving up, they're going to have to go out there and they're going to have to probably sign a veteran in free agency. The buzz this week has been Justin Fields. That's been a lot of what I've heard from people just probably speculating, but it is logical. Your thoughts on Fields as an option for the Jets?
Love him as option read or read option quarterback. I think with Breece Hall, if you want to optimize Breece Hall in a year, which we need to see what we have out of Breece. Is he really a top 10 running back in football, or potentially even a top 5 one? You remember last year, Breece Hall was second on fantasy boards as running back 2, running back 3. I mean, we never really got to see Breece live up to that standard. So I think bringing in Justin Fields allows you to run that read option to death and stack up the yards with Breece. The thing with Justin Fields, it's not only a deficiencies passing, Jake, which he can process a little slower and wait a little longer to get the ball out. Similar to Jalen Hurts, though. It's up here for me with him on a confidence basis, or in here rather than up here. Does he feel confident in himself? He's been down on himself, a little timid. I don't know if I trust him in a system that's trying to figure things out to go through more bad times potentially if he were to come here. So I'm a little concerned with him from a confidence perspective. But when you're talking about an athlete, I mean, he's more physically gifted than Jalen Hurts. Just Jalen Hurts has everything else: confidence, leadership, intangibles. That Justin Fields, we're not yet sure if he has that, but I question if he does. But it'll optimize the run game, which is something I want to see optimized next year.
It just feels like you're betting on the potential upside. Don't bank on it, but he's 25. He does have some talent. He's won some games in the league before. He was 4-2 as a starter this year. Like, you could do worse than Fields, Tyrod, and maybe, your guy Kyle McCord on day 2, day 3 of the draft.
Yeah, you can. I think Justin Fields.
Well, your guy's Will Howard, actually.
Will Howard,
right?
I was going to say. Because I was actually talking to Trevor Sikkema about Kyle McCord just now. So I'm like, oh, maybe you overheard me saying that. But listen, Kyle McCord has a good arm. And what we were actually talking about with Kyle McCord specifically is he tries to be a little bit like Baker, but he doesn't necessarily have all the flair and the pop in his arm that Baker does. But my guy's Will Howard. Will Howard, I don't think he's going to be there, though, Jake, on day 3. I almost don't think he's also not going to be there on day 2.
You think he's going to be a first-round pick,
I
Will
think
Howard?
he's going to be late in the first round. I think a team like the Rams, I think a team like the Eagles, I think a team like that's going to look at him and want to bring him in.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think he's a he's a developmental prospect that could eventually become a really good starter. A team like the 49ers, I think when McVay, Shanahan, or one of these offensive minds looks at Will Howard's tape, he's going to shoot up board. So to me, if I had to put money on it, I would put money on day 2, but I wouldn't be surprised if he goes late day 1. And I would love him for the Jets. I really would. I would love for us to trade back and get Will Howard. I know he's older and he doesn't have the aura. That's the new buzzword these days. How much aura does he have? He doesn't really have much aura, but I could care less, to be honest. Will Howard could be a potential option for us, Jake. But I like the Justin Fields style more than Kirk Cousins.
Me too. I mean,
come on.
Once again, if you're going to sell me on Kirk Cousins, then why don't we just keep Aaron Rodgers?
I know.
Like, you can't sell me on Kirk Cousins. Oh, because he's cheap? Great. He's not good.
No.
He's not good. Just keep
No.
Aaron Rodgers. I hear about the cap stuff. The cap stuff is nonsense, man. It goes up every year. He was willing to take a pay cut. Like, I don't want to hear it, man. Like, that would be so disappointing if it's Kirk Cousins and Tyrod for a year, and they don't even come away with, like, any of these quarterbacks in the draft that have, like, maybe, like, the hope for some potential upside.
I agree. I think what people are doing with Kirk Cousins is they're sort of looking at the Aaron Rodgers departure as almost like a sunk cost and saying, oh, well, he's gone, so let's just go to, like, the Temu version of Aaron Rodgers with Kirk Cousins. I'll say this. Kirk had some huge games, and if you go over his last 17 games, he has over 4,300 passing yards. I think only 23 touchdowns, though, which is more important, I would say. But you're going to get big games from Kirk. But what's the point? Again, what you're saying, there is no point. At least with Justin Fields, you might have a reclamation project.
Yeah, he could do what Darnold did or Mayfield did. Like, that's
Yes.
the dream. Or it's not quite the same thing because it took Geno like 9 years, but Geno Smith had a resurgence.
Yes.
3 teams removed from the Jets, but eventually found his way as a starter in Seattle.
100%. Yeah. There's no upside with Kirk Cousins. If you bring him in, you're going to get into a situation where your offense really isn't going to move. It's not going to develop. And then you're going to be stuck in this situation again next year. So
Nate writes in, we're already starting quick on you,
okay,
Frankie.
let's go. What do we got?
Can we still put a bounty on a guest even if he's in the same room as Jake? What do you think the bounty should be on you, Frankie?
You know what?
I'll split some of the cost with you.
I'll make the bounty easy. $100. I want 60% though.
60%. Well, YouTube is going to take 30% right off the bat.
You're a good negotiator.
If someone Venmos me, I'll tell you what. If someone Venmos me $100, right?
Okay.
I'll give you 50-50 split. $50. You have a nice
Deal.
steak tonight on me.
You're an
and
easy.
then you're off the show.
You're an easy guy. All
Ladies
right,
and
yeah. If you I'll do push-ups. If you Venmo Jake $150, I'll do some push-ups live on air.
wow.
I'll do 20 push-ups. How about them apples?
I love it. Jake
I don't know if I can,
Asman on Venmo. If you want to zell me, AsmanJake at Gmail.
You're a good businessman, Jake. I like you.
I'm a
I like
capitalist,
you.
man. These
You are,
these
you
trips are cheap, man. I got to look out for my bottom line, man. Ladies and
At least you
gentlemen,
didn't have to pay for Wi-Fi this year.
dude. Oh my God, thank God. Although there was a Wi-Fi issue this morning that the audience doesn't need to be bored about. But yeah, no, didn't have to spend $1,100 on Wi-Fi.
I cannot
for
believe
this.
that.
Ridiculous.
I don't know if I would have been able to afford Vegas now that I think about it. but-
Ridiculous. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. All right, so we did our raffle earlier in the show, and by earlier, right at the top of the show. So we're starting to collect memberships for our next ASMANIAC Raffle. Ladies and gentlemen, the first person to enter the next raffle is listener Rich Karzewski, who became a channel member. He has a chance to win a signed Curtis Martin helmet, a signed Darrelle Revis helmet, and a signed Don Maynard helmet. That's our next top 3 for our next ASMANIAC Raffle. Thank you very much, Rich. And how about this? South Philly dropping it. A 5-spot of Chettle membership.
It's the ASMANIAC Membership Raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Michael Davila, Sean Mahoney, Will Collins, David D, Carl Duncan, all receiving channel membership. So we're off and running here for ASMANIAC Raffle. Can you believe it? 17. We just did 16 this morning on the show. Now we're up to 17 since December 1st. Tristan writes in, why is he here? He's a Patriots fanboy. Are you a Patriots fanboy?
Patriots fanboy. Patriots are my least favorite team in NFL. In the NFL, where's that coming from?
Look, you could not like Frankie's take.
Did I
call him a Patriot fan is offensive?
That's crazy to me. Did I get really boozed up in my past and someone has me in like a Patriots hat? That could potentially be a thing. No, but no, I'm anti-Boston everything. I can't stand that city. I hate their fans. No, Patriots are far from my fandom. They're at the bottom of the list and they're low at the bottom.
Amen.
Where's that coming? Who is that?
I don't know.
Tristan, I gotta get some
Patriot
intel
fan.
on that person. Maybe they have some collateral. Maybe I gotta.
Maybe he's confusing you for someone else. I don't know.
Some collateral I gotta put in his hand to stop these pictures from coming out. So
comments, questions, super chats for Frankie and I to address. I want to get your thoughts on the press conference on Tuesday from both Glenn and Muji. Second time we've heard them speak since they were hired. What did you take away from anything they said?
0. I could care less, Jake. I'm just being honest. The people were saying, "Oh, they showed up late." I don't care. I didn't care that Glenn was snappy a little bit. I kind of like that. I don't take this stuff seriously, man. It's all pre sort of thought out. They know how they're going to answer questions. They probably get the questions beforehand as well. I don't take anything from it. What I do like overall, if I had to give a little nugget of positivity, I like that Glenn is Glenn. I want to see Aaron Glenn continue to be what we saw in his opening presser throughout the year. I want to see how he's going to be in his post games and whatnot. So I do like that Glenn is either. I want to know if he is that guy, and that showed that he still is. But to me, it's I don't take much from it, man.
Well, the thing is, he could be, defiant with the media. He could push back on any of the quarterback questions. That's all fine. People are going to like that now. It's like we're setting the tone. It's a new change. It's not trying to be buddy-buddy with the media like Saleh did. But if he doesn't get a long-term answer at quarterback where this team gets off to a bad start next year, that act is going to wear very thin with the fan base quickly if he still takes that same approach and they're losing games.
100%. I agree. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. You can't not answer the most important questions continuously. So, that doesn't really get put under a microscope until you really start losing games. So he's going to have to answer those questions. But I think they're doing a lot of quarterback work. I think they're trying to address that question right now. They don't want to go, I don't think, into next season with a Justin Fields and a Tyrod Taylor situation. I think one of these young kids is coming to town, man.
Be elite, especially with the receiver core they have, the defense they have. Being able to talk with their head coach for the first time was exciting. And so, I think the Jets are, not too far off. Maybe a couple pieces. I'm just hoping I can be one of them.
I'm sold. Kevin
Hell
Cam
yeah.
Ward.
I didn't even see that.
It happened when he was up there at the podium before. But here's the thing. I like Cam Ward, but I don't know if I'm willing to move heaven and earth for Cam Ward. It would depend on what the asking price would be to go up from 7 to, let's say, 1 or 2. I don't know if they could do a deal with the Giants, but if the Giants, in theory, get Stafford, maybe they would bypass quarterback, be more willing to listen. I just don't know if, ownership-wise, Mara wants to maybe help the Jets get a franchise quarterback, and vice versa. If it doesn't work for the Jets, the Giants get to have the last laugh. So that might nullify it. Patriots at 4, forget it. I think it might take Cam being there at 5, potentially, for the Jets to do it. But I don't rule it out. I mean, if they love Cam Ward, you got to do it, right? That's got to be the philosophy of a new regime.
100%. Yeah. I think, too, with this Abdul Carter situation, too, that could have, effectively changed the value in that pick as well. Because if Tennessee really wanted Abdul Carter. Now they might not. They might be able to settle themselves on Cam Ward. But I agree with you. Him getting outside of the first overall pick brings the amount of draft capital down significantly. You look at it, it's going to be an extra first. So you're going to swap your ones. It's going to be another one. It's going to be a package with a couple twos and maybe a three. That's the cost of doing business. Am I fine doing it? Yes. Am I going to be ecstatic about it? Probably not. But Jake, I think Cam Ward's really damn good, man. I really do. I think if he's in last year's draft, I think he's right there between him and Drake May as to like who's that QB3.
Really? Because a lot of draft guys
really
think he'd be like the 4th or 5th guy last year.
I was on that 4th or 5th train as well. I was saying he'd be there with Bo Nix, sort of in that 11 to 15 range.
Right.
The more and more I look at him, Jake, he makes every play that he needs to make. He puts himself in a position.
I like his attitude, too.
I love his attitude.
Yeah.
And he's competitive. When you're looking at him and Shador when they're working out together, you tell me who's the more competitive guy and who's the quarterback that you'd want on your team leading the way. So, listen, I don't know what they're going to do, but damn it, if you want to get a franchise quarterback for once, we've been waiting how damn long for a franchise quarterback. You want to win? I know you want to. You want to win as many games as you can next year.
I do, Frankie.
Let's go and get Cam Ward.
Contrary to what a lot of Jet fans might, forget at this point because it's been so long, the goal of a football team is to actually go out there and win games. You want to go out there.
Teach me that. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You don't want to be terrible for 14 years and counting. You actually want to be relevant and win football games. Actually, funny enough. So I was going to tell this story at some point. I was hanging out with Antonio Cromartie yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Just ran into him. He's been on the show before. Super nice guy. And we were just talking about how big of a bleep show the last 14 years have been. You know what he said to me? He goes, 2015 still really bothers me. He goes, we should have made it that year. I go, I'm not going to bring up week 17 in Buffalo, Crow, but you're absolutely right. So,
terrible, man.
But other than that year, this franchise has not had any winning seasons during this playoff drought. The best they have done is a few 8-8s. 2011 was an 8-8. 2013 was an 8-8. You had the 7-9 first year of Gase, some 7-10s with Zach Wilson and Mike White and Trevor Siemian, etc. That's how bad it's been, though, man. They've had one winning season during this playoff drought.
It has. It's been really bad, man. And I'll say this though, where the whole tanking thing comes from, I'll just dive into it really quick. I don't want to pretend like we're going to put together a team for 25 and then win 6 games and be drafting 8th or 7th, like we are this year. I want them, if they're going to go in, dive in. If you want to go in 25 and win, Jake, go and get Cam Ward. Go and even get Justin Fields and stack up some players offensively, or do it in a more organic way where you're not, stretching your resources out, and you're doing it in a smarter way. The Jets don't know how to do that. When they go all in, they don't do it right. They, as you talk about, they deplete the defensive line, which is one of the most important parts of a win now team. Look at the team that won the Super Bowl. They had the best D-line in football. Look at the other team that they played. They have one of the best D-lines in football with the defensive coordinator that values defensive line play. You can't go into win now and not do it right. And when you're not ready to win now, you can't try to spend all this money and sign all these players and revise contracts for your liking to win, if you're not doing it right. So the Jets, in my opinion, if you're going to do it right, go and do it. Trade up for Cam Ward if you think he's the guy. And I do think it.
What's the most you're trading up, though? Are you giving up? Obviously, this year's 1. Are you giving up a 2 this year? And then a 1 next year, and then maybe another pick too?
Another 2.
So you're going to give up
2 first and 2
second. To go from
second.
7 to 1, you're going to give up a 1 this year. Obviously, you're swapping. 2 this year, 1 and 2 next year. That feels too much.
I'm swapping a 1. I'm giving a 1 next year.
Right. The swap is fine. That makes sense.
So I'm swapping a 1. I'm giving a 2 this year and a 1-2 next year.
1-2 is crazy.
Not a 1-2 necessarily next year, though. I might do a 1 next year and then a 2 the following year. Jake, it's the price of doing business. We need a quarterback. Listen,
I don't know if he I like Cam Ward, but is he worth all that? You believe in him, though. That's
I do, but the thing about it this way, I think one of those second-round picks is not going to work out. So to me,
based on Jet history,
so to me,
we don't need picks. They suck anyway.
So to me, I'm canceling 1 out, so I don't count 1. And then you're giving up an extra 1
Yeah.
and an extra 2. It's not the craziest thing in the world. I mean, like, look at what the Rams gave up to go to 1 to draft Jared Goff. I mean, they gave up a haul. And if you look at the points difference between what the Rams did and what we could do, let's say, it's 600 points in difference that the Rams had given up just to get Goff. They had to go from 15 to 1.
But that's a lot different than 7 to 1. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying just the points difference.
Yeah.
Like that factors in where you're trading up from. Listen, the problem with this draft, Jake, is there's 3 or 4 guys that you can justify going in the top 10, and then there's a bunch of guys that I would slate between 14 and 25. That's the problem. There's Tyler Warren. If we draft Tyler Warren at 7, good pick. But Tyler Warren should be drafted 17th in a regular, first round, let's call it. You look at people are slating Ashton Genty to go in the top 10. In most other drafts, he's not going in the top 10. Jackson Dart's been linked to us in the top 10. Jackson Dart wouldn't even be considered a first rounder other years, Jake. So this is a unique draft where I don't think it's bad, but it's not top heavy at all. But I do think there's a lot of sleepers late in this draft that people aren't looking at in the 3rd, 4th, 5th rounds that could end up becoming stars in this league. Guys like Tez Johnson. We speak about Will Howard. Curtis Rourke's one. I like Riley Leonard, who was just talking before. I'm a big Riley Leonard fan. I think I didn't like him coming out of Notre Dame. And then as I started diving in, I'm like, what weaknesses does Riley Leonard have? Put on his tape and show me what Riley Leonard does bad. He's got a great head on his shoulders.
You love all these quarterbacks.
I like the late guys. I don't like Shador. I'm not a Jackson Dart fan. I don't like Jalen Milroe.
What about Tyler Shuck, who was sitting over there about 15 minutes ago?
I'm 50-50. Nothing impressive. To me, he's like Davis Mills. Cool. I'll take him on the team, I guess, as a backup. I don't know where this quarterback 2 or 3 convo is coming from with him. I think that's insanity. But I like these quarterbacks late. So I guess maybe we don't trade up for Cam Moore. But if you were to tell me one or two situations, if we don't trade up for Cam Moore, but we end up with Will Howard or Riley Leonard, I'm good. I don't want to trade up. But if you're telling me that if we don't trade up, we're going to end up with Jackson Dart, please trade up. It just depends. I'm very hot and cold with a lot of these quarterbacks this year, but I am hot with a bunch of guys and I'm cold with a lot of others.
We're talking with Frankie V from uStadium, a friend of the show. Ladies and gentlemen,
baby. All about the
we announced the winners of our raffle earlier in the show. I want to shout out Nicholas. I got your email, Nicholas. He loves Jermaine Johnson. It's his favorite player. He won the signed Jermaine jersey earlier. Nicholas, thanks for supporting the show. How about this right here?
By the way, I'm getting drafted, guys. I'm getting drafted by the Asmaniacs.
There you go. Yep. You're an official Asmaniac.
Can I? I can't put this hat on. It doesn't fit me.
No,
I'm going to take this. But yeah, I've been drafted, everyone.
You look good.
I'm an Asmaniac. Thank you. You're the first person to tell me that in a long time.
Gleddy has gifted 10 channel memberships. That's 10 raffle entries. Let's go, AG.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
For those of you tuning in late, we're already focused on our next top 3 prizes for ASMANIAC Raffle number 17, a signed Curtis Martin helmet, a signed Darrelle Revis helmet, a signed Don Maynard helmet. Hall of Famers, baby. That's the theme for the top 3 prizes.
Don Maynard, the best wide receiver in New York Jets history, bar none.
Unless Garrett Wilson plays his whole career as a Jet.
You better.
Which he better.
You better keep your shakes in line with what potentially could happen with Garrett Wilson because they're
not trading him.
I don't think they are, but I think there's going to be a development. Either they're going to extend him,
they're going to extend him.
or yeah, I think so too. But I'm just saying, conversations happen. When tough convos happen, it could go one of 2 ways. But yeah, I think we're going to extend them.
Gleddy is in our raffle, our next one for next week for 10. If you hear your name called, you can thank Gleddy for your channel membership. JC Jets gifted a membership. Also, the following listeners are now channel members, courtesy of the great Gleddy. Chris Peterson, you are now an official channel member, and YouTube is spazzing on me. Izzy Blanco, channel member. Big T Charlie, channel member. Les Comar, channel member. Ray Danger, member. Nicholas Rocca, member. TP Jet, member. BHOS, member as well from Gleddy. Thank you very much, Gleddy. Fiore with a $10 super chat. He says Giants will want to trade up if they don't get Stafford, so going from 7-1 would be expensive because the Titans would have to be willing to go that far down. Feels like Ward will go 1 or 2. I agree. It's why I don't think it's actually realistic. I mean, look, it's going to depend on what happens with Stafford. If Stafford goes to the Giants, maybe that changes things. We got Art Stapleton over here. Art, yes or no? If the Giants end up with Stafford, do you think they don't take a quarterback then in the top 3? Then they do take a quarterback. Oh, they don't. Later in the draft. Yep. All right, so Art is plugged in with the Giants thinks if they do get Stafford, they wouldn't go quarterback in the top 3, which makes sense. Take a developmental guy, he's saying, and then Shane and Dable got to win, so you could take Travis Hunter, who could help you. Maybe
Definitely.
Carter, someone they love, he's there. They get their version of Micah Parsons in the division, another Penn State stud edge rusher. So I can see it.
I just wonder if Daboll and Shane want to finally, or Daboll specifically wants to finally draft his own quarterback. Like, he has been in a disadvantage that they.
Well, we know he wanted to last year, but they couldn't get up high enough to get Daniels.
I know. I'm thinking maybe this is that year, but to what Art's saying, maybe they could grab someone later. But I'm telling you, Jake, doing research on these quarterbacks, and I've been diving in a bunch. It's
Extensive research.
Yes. Not regular research. Or, Tanky V research. Doing extensive research, Jake. Looking at these quarterbacks, there's a bunch of exciting prospects late in the draft. Will Howard, Curtis Rourke, Riley Leonard. If you like Kyle McCord, if you like Tyler Shuck, there is value later on. And I think head coaches like Brian Daboll, McVay, Shanahan, they're going to look at these quarterbacks and say, I love one or the other. I mean, Trevor Sikkema had Will Howard as quarterback 3. Who has Will Howard as quarterback 3? I have him as quarterback. I have his QB2.
Yeah, there's no consensus on who the third quarterback is, though.
Yeah.
McShay has Shuck as his third guy. I know that. Some people really like Jackson Dart. Obviously, there's been some buzz for him. I mean, it's just not a great top-heavy, like, surefire first-round grade quarterback class.
No, there really isn't. It really isn't. I'm curious now what the Shedeur Sanders situation is gonna look like, because as we get closer and closer to the draft, you're going to hear buzz. I think he's either going to go extremely high, top 5, or I think Shedeur could end up having a fall a la what Aaron Rodgers went through. So I'm looking at it. Interestingly enough, the Shedeur Sanders situation reminds me a lot of the Aaron Rodgers situation coming out of college.
You think he's going to slide?
I think he's either going to go 1, like in the top 3, I'm saying, like top 3, or he's going to slide and like hit maybe the 20s.
Julian Manfredo is in the raffle for 5 with his $20 super chat. Thank you, Julian. Hey, Julian, I hope you were watching at the top of the show. I led the show with the ASMANIAC Raffle results for number 16, Raffle 16. Julian, I'm pleased to say that you won the signed Chad Pennington helmet that I will be sending out to you this week. I think I have your address from last time, but just shoot me another email just to remind me what it is in the same thread, and I'll get that out to you. All right, some super chats here. Frankie, the chat's coming for you. Kyle said, and no one's Venmoed me $100, by the way. So the bounty on you is still out there. $100.
No push-ups for me today. Okay, good.
$100, or you know what? I'll even do this. 20 memberships gifted right here, right now. We'll say goodbye to you as well, and I'll make sure you get a nice dinner.
See,
right?
you use me for your own benefit. I like it.
I'm a capplefish, as Bobby Midnight would say. I'm just kidding. Frankie is not going to get bounty.
No,
or
you
is
can
he?
bounty me. Yes,
or is he? Jake, I know Frankie's a friend of the show, but his takes are nuts and make me want to scream.
Yes. I don't know what I said that was nuts, but it's okay.
Okay, so Nate has some things that he thinks are nuts. He says, things I've heard Frankie desire on Jake's show. Tank for quarterback in 26. Trade down for McCord in round 1.
I didn't say trade down for McCord in round 1. I said trade down for Will Howard.
Trade up for Cam Ward all over the place. To be fair, Nate, we're just talking about options for the Jets. Frankie has said he has Cam Ward as his best quarterback, and if the Jets can get him, he'd be open to trading up. I think you're totally rational with that thought. I agree with you.
Appreciate that, Jake. No. I mean, listen, you have to put options on the table. There's going to be options that are realistic and options that aren't realistic at all. There's going to be things that are feasible and things that aren't at all. So you have to look at this. I would put on the table for the Jets at 7. I would draft an offensive player. I'd go BPA offensive player, including offensive line. I'd have Will Campbell up there on my board. I'd even have Kelvin Banks, the kid out of Texas. I think if you can get that right tackle situation locked in, you can really help out your offense and your coordinator to make life easy. When the O-line's elite, everything is easy to put around them, right? I'd look there. I'd look at Tyler Warren. I'd look at Ted McMillan. I wouldn't look at defense at 7. I don't
Not
think,
even if it's Mason Graham there.
I'm
Put it
not.
next to Quentin Williams. Fix this run game. Fix the defense.
The problem is, for me, our offense is going to need as much help as they can get.
Yeah,
in
but
my
our defense
opinion.
was brutal too up front.
Let Aaron Glenn and Wilkes figure it out. They're defensive guys. Let them. You don't have to extend your resources.
Yeah, but who
for,
you taking
for
it-
defensive players? I think let them figure out the defense, and I have faith in them to do it.
Okay, but
personally.
if not, let's say a quarterback at 7. What player at 7 do you want then on offense? You want Warren? You
want
like McMillan.
I like Warren. I like Will Campbell. Warren.
You would take another offensive lineman in the top 7.
I think shore up that offensive line, Jake. Differentiate the team. If we have Olu Fashanu and we have Will Campbell at right tackle, Jake, it makes life so much easier for a quarterback, for an OC. I think if we think a little bit differently, I mean, look at the Eagles with Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata. I mean, you're not going to get a better tackle front than that. I'm just saying, differentiate how you're building your team offensively. Don't build it
Those
like
shrimp
everybody
cocktails
else.
from St. Elmo's. He just got the town.
Absolutely.
Like, can you guys come on
yes.
camera over here?
Oh, yeah. Come right in.
Come here. No. Come,
There we go.
Come on
You
camera.
guys came right up to me. It's unbelievable.
What's your name?
All right.
Max. This is Max from St. Elmo's, guest of the Combine. So, unfortunately, I actually have a shellfish allergy, so I can't partake. But Frankie, on the other hand,
Okay.
is ready to go to town.
I'm going to rate this. One bite. That's it? All right, let's go.
Here we go. Little shrimp cocktail action from St. Elmo's, where I've had dinner at 3 times.
That sauce is excellent. It's hitting my nose.
You gonna die?
No.
Antoine Staley last year at dinner almost passed out. Oh wow, there's
That's-
tears in his eyes.
That's very good.
Look at the tears in his eyes. You got to get that for your social right there. Oh my God,
9.1 out of 10. 9.1. That was good.
this guy's crying. That's solid. That's solid.
No, that was excellent. That was really good.
Thank you guys very
That
much.
sauce was great. Wow.
You took that like a champ. Well done.
Yeah.
You're right.
I'm a spicy
no, like-
food eater. That kind of kicked my ass.
There's
Woke
no
me up,
water
though.
anywhere here. That's the other thing. I think that
No,
it's
there's no
impossible
coffee,
to get
no
a
water.
coffee or water. Like you got to go like walk 10,000 miles. So forget it. I just have been starving during the day. Oh
You have
my
to
God.
Uber back to New York to get a water.
Ralphie says, "What happens if I eat shrimp?" Well, this would be the last show, Ralphie. That's what would happen. there wouldn't be another Jake
It's
Asman show.
what, like clams too, I guess.
All shellfish. So I can't. And I lived in Houston for 6 years, where crawfish is a big deal down there. Obviously, New Orleans as well. So crawfish season, people go out. They plan days around crawfish and going out, and couldn't do any of it.
What about if there's cross contamination? Does it hit you too? Like they're like mixing fish with stuff.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to have it, but
You'll be fine.
It's fine.
Okay.
Fish I can have. I love sushi. Like
Oh, interesting.
I love salmon. I love tuna. I can't have anything that's a shellfish. So
Interesting.
oysters, clams, lobster.
What is it about shellfish? Did something about them?
Allergies. I don't know. People have it.
Yeah.
I
No,
got-
I know
got
they
a
do.
peanut
I always
allergy
wonder.
too. I'm allergic.
Really?
Yeah, I'm allergic to tree nuts. I'm allergic to peanuts, D's nuts, like all of it. It's a real problem. The only D's nuts I'm not allergic to is my guy Mike D's nuts, longtime supporter, listener of our
Oh,
show.
that's good.
But like other than that, man, like it's oof, it is tough.
These nuts.
Yeah. All right, here. Let me see what we got. Adam's got a question for you. He goes, Jake, ask your buddy where a healthy Jordan Travis would be ranked in the draft. He might be 1 through 3. I don't think Jordan Travis would be ranked that high if he was in this draft. Do you?
No, I don't. The thing with Jordan Travis is injuries screwed this guy's stock, his career to an extent. I guess it's like messing with his value in the market.
Someone asked me about Travis last night. I'm like, he has never had an NFL practice yet. Like, this guy was out the entire year.
Yeah. If we want to talk good things about Jordan Travis, though, I'll say this. He moves well in the pocket. He's a confident guy in the pocket. He has a good enough arm. He reminds me, he reminds me of a younger Dak Prescott. That's really who I look at with Jordan Travis. Now, the thing is, what happens now that he has these injury concerns, which is why he dropped to the 5th round. We got him. What pick was he? Pick 70, I think. I mean, I don't know, Jake. It's 170. Excuse me. It's tough, man, with Jordan Travis. We got him 171, I believe, and I don't know what Jordan Travis's career is going to look like. I really don't. But bring him into camp. We need quarterback bodies. Bring him into camp, see what he can do, get him through some practices, and then we can kind of get things rolling.
Amen. Amen. If you're watching live right now, hit the like button. If you give 20 memberships, we'll say goodbye to Frankie immediately.
You're gonna kick me out. Go ahead.
Also,
I might have a shellfish allergy, by the way.
I'm checking the numbers here. We just got an influx of new viewers. We did our raffle for our 7 prizes at the top of this show. So go back to the beginning and find out if you won. In fact, I'll just spoil it right now because I want to make sure I get all the info from the winners. Sauce jersey, Jets Johnny. Mango jersey, Austria Jet fan. Jermaine jersey, Nicholas Alverson. Already got his info. Sanchez helmet, David Atkins. Klecko helmet, Ricky NY. Pennington helmet, Julian Manfredo. Gastineau helmet, Gabe. Those are the 7 winners. Congrats to them. We're now taking memberships and super chats for raffle 17. Signed Martin helmet, signed Revis helmet, signed Maynard helmet. Let's freaking go. Comments, questions, super chats for Frankie and I. Dan writes in, I've been wondering, can the Giants trade for Stafford and still draft Ward or Sanders to sit behind him? I don't think Stafford costs pick 3. He wouldn't cost pick 3, but I think the Giants would be making a move that they're trying to win, and they're not going to be worried about their long-term answer at quarterback because Dable and Shane won't be here if they don't have a winning season next year.
I agree with that. Yeah. The value you'd have, the draft capital you'd have to give up. Or
Maybe they would trade out of 3 though to try and recoup some of the picks they just gave
exactly
up
what
to
I
get
was going to
Stafford.
say. Yes. If you draft, if you bring in Stafford and you're giving up capital, and then you're also drafting Shador, wouldn't you want, as you're saying, to get a player that'll give you immediate value with the Stafford run team? But that idea makes sense, though. I always like the idea of having a veteran, Jake, and then not forcing a rookie quarterback to have to play so early. Let them sit for a year or 2. You don't know what their developmental cycle looks like. They might need a year. They might need 2 years. They might need 4 or 5 games like Drake May needed. It all depends. And maybe Drake May needed more time too. I don't like situations where teams that are trying to figure out how to put together a program on offense have to start a rookie quarterback. It can really end in disaster. We saw it here with Zach Wilson. Perfect example. And Sam Darnold to a degree too.
We're presented today by BetUS. There's games all weekend long in, of course, college hoops, the NBA, the NHL. You can bet on all of it. Plus, BetUS is offering odds for the NFL draft. So take a look at that. 150% sign-up bonus with your first deposit. A 125% bonus with your second and third deposits. If you're looking for a sports book, BetUS should be your go-to. Shout out to BetUS for being a part of this show and the Jake Asman football show during the NFL season.
You want to put a bet on?
What's the bet?
Let's put a bet on the uStadium app. A take. Abdul Carter's going to drop out of the top 5.
Top 5? You think he's going to fall out of?
I think he's going to fall out of it. I do.
That feels like a mistake because I understand he's hurt, but it's not like his career's over. Like he'll be ready for training camp, they think. No?
Yeah, but the thing is he's not getting surgery. So this is like a lingering thing that a team and a medical staff is going to have to look at and decide if he needs surgery or not. I feel like he should almost get surgery just to give the assurance to teams that this isn't going to be a lingering issue.
Hey, we got the Colts mascot here.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Hey, what's up?
How we doing, man? What's going on?
What's going
look
on?
at that.
I'm sorry about Anthony
Oh, my
Richardson.
God.
I'm sorry.
Look at that. Hey, 2003
Oh, he shoved me, baby.
playoffs, right? 02 playoffs, January 2003. 41-0. Jets beat the Colts. What were your thoughts that day?
Yes.
Oh! Just kidding. We love you. Football's
He's a
family.
rough guy.
Yeah.
Rough gal.
Love it.
Oh.
Incredible. Yeah. Also, hey, Peyton Manning's last game. A loss to the New York Jets.
And hung upside
In
down.
Peyton's last game, you lost to the Jets. I don't even know what's the mascot's name for the Colts.
I don't know. He's aggressive.
What's your guys' mascot name? Blue. Blue just attacked me. Where's Ian Rappaport? I need to file a complaint with NFL security. He's got to teach me how to do it. Where's Rap Sheet? I need to learn how to file a complaint with security around here.
He's coming back.
All right. Oh, he's coming back. Blue, you're sick. You're sick, Blue. All right. You'll hear from my lawyers, Rappaport style. Oh my God.
That's a nutcase.
Hey, that was assault. Oh, here. Where's Goodell? Oh my God. Blue, you're sick. 41-0. Jets beat the Colts in the playoffs. Peyton Manning's last game. Sanchez to Braylon Edwards after a Cromartie kickoff return to put us in great range for a Nick Falk field goal. 17-16 Jets win. Never forget it, Blue. Oh my God, I just got bullied by a mascot.
You did. That was incredible. That's a tough mascot. I'm kind of scared of this mascot.
Do we think Boy Green's going to aggregate that?
100%.
Noted Jet fan and content creator gets.
Look, his mascot's just looking for victims.
I just got manhandled by a mascot. That's what the combine's all about.
Yeah,
like that.
I don't know how you're fine right now. The mascot kind of got you, dude.
No, I got rocked. But I think I
mascot shoved my neck.
I talked trash to the end. I got rocked there. Gator, if you're watching, send me that clip. We'll post that. We'll post that as a social clip. That was funny. You know what?
Funny.
Oh my God! All right, I don't know where we go from there.
So the Abdul Carter thing.
Oh yeah,
I think
I have blue hair in my mouth, like blue mascot hair.
It's all over the mic.
Yeah, it is all over the mic. Ugh.
Oh, nice. You got it.
You got it on video of attacking me? Yeah. Text me that, Aaron. Thank you. That's hilarious. Yeah, please. Dude, oh my God, I got rocked. That was assault.
This mascot's like trying to freaking spear people.
Battle Royale at the Combine. Now he's going after Art Stapleton here. It's actually great PR for the Colts.
It is, yeah. It is.
That's smart.
Indy knows what they're doing. Small town.
The Combine is my second Combine.
It's the best, I think.
It should never leave Indy, though. It's the perfect city for it. It's walkable. There's plenty of hotels, good restaurants. The setup here, outside of how far it is to go to the media room to get a water or coffee, because it literally takes like 30 minutes.
I don't know why they do that.
Yeah, they should have something right.
They 100% should. That's the one thing I've always had an issue with Indy is why do you have to go in even the room to get your credentials is
it's far
on the other side, but whatever.
The airport's 15 minutes from where we are, so it's easy.
The town's cool.
There's no traffic in Indy, which is
None.
insane. You just scooter everywhere, and there's plenty of places to walk.
How was New Orleans for the Super Bowl?
You can see why people love it every year there, because it's it's a great city. The weather's nice. Food scene.
So the Wi-Fi really cost you though.
Yeah, well, you know what? If you want,
what if you didn't pay that? So you couldn't have Wi-Fi.
This is what cost $1,100. Last year in Vegas, I didn't need to use the Ethernet because the Wi-Fi in the convention center was strong enough. The Wi-Fi in the convention center in New Orleans was trash. Like it would be
interesting,
worse than some of my callers who call into the show. for people out there, it was worse than Peace Breakers Wi-Fi. For those of you who remember that, so I had to just bite the bullet, spend the money. Thankfully, we have great sponsors and support for the channel where I could do it. But if you're a smaller station out there or a smaller digital program and you have a budget, and then all of a sudden, boom, $1,100 more. It's not easy.
Yeah, I was seeing a bunch of people tweeting that, wow, I had to pay all this money to go to New Orleans, and I have to also pay over $1,000 for Wi-Fi. I didn't believe it when I heard it. I thought they were fake tweets, trying to get at the NFL. But yeah, when you told me, I'm like, oh, interesting.
Ladies and gentlemen, 5 gifted memberships from Matthew C, who checks in and pays it forward.
Show me the money. Show me the money! Money.
There you go. All right, if you hear your name called, you thank Matthew C. He's in our next raffle for 5. RB, LA, Jorge Galvez, Donald Wallace, DBZJC, all receiving channel memberships from Matthew C. Matthew, thank you. Hopefully you saw the new raffle prizes. We have some really, really good ones. Maynard helmet, Revis helmet, and Curtis Martin Hall of Fame inscription helmet. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. All right, great question here from Bobby Midnight. Hey, Jake, my friend, you are awesome. Thank you, Bobby. Ask Frankie who he has winning the tournament. Have you been following ASMANIAC Madness?
A little bit, yeah, I have.
Have you filled out a bracket yet?
No, I'm going to fill one out.
You got to do it today because the bracket locks tomorrow, people, at 9 a.m.
I'll
be in the pool.
I'll do it today.
All right, I'm going to pull up the bracket for you, right?
Okay.
And you're going to tell me who you got. All right. So
I'll give you a few upsets too.
We're going to go region by region here. So the number 1 seed in the region is Charles Gorman.
Oh, it's a lot.
The 2 seed in the region is Beastbreaker.
Beastbreaker could be an upset.
I'm just going to give you the 1s and 2s to start there.
Okay.
Now we go to the Hood region. You got Cheats Fan as a 1. You got David T as the 2 in that region. Your guy Neil is a 3 seed in the region. Now we get to the 3rd region, the Butter region. This is the region Bobby's in. He's a 1 seed. However, watch out for the 5 seed, Mikey Midnight.
Whoa, yeah.
If he had been calling year round, he might be a 1 in his own region. But we have Mikey as a 5. Then you go to the 2 in this region. You have Gary 3D Boxing, checking in. And then you have the 3 in the region is also compelling as well because half the chat hates him, Alan, who probably aligns with your takes more often than not because Alan's all about the Jets being bad forever.
I have my final 4.
And then we have the train region. Don't forget about Lane Train. Then you have the 2 in the train region, which is V-Man. The 3 in this region is Mr. Bonesy. I don't know if you're familiar with Bones.
Yeah, he's the shoe store guy, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So that's a little feel for the bracket here. I'm going to now defer to you. Your thoughts on who you have winning the tournament.
Well, all right. So I got Gary's going to go far. Gary's OG on the Jake Asman show.
He's in that butter region, which is a great region.
Yeah, it's a great region. I think Gary comes out of the butter region.
Yeah, I'll show you if you need to get a better.
Yeah,
visual
so
right
I
here.
have. All right, I got Gary coming out of the butter region.
Yep.
It's going to be a crash course with him and Bobby Midnight.
So you have Bobby Midnight and Gary in the Elite Eight.
In the Elite Eight.
All right,
Then
so
have Gary coming out.
How about the train region?
That's Lane Train.
You think
Lane
Lane's
Train's going to train through the train region
So
easily?
who do you think V-Man can do some damage? Bonesy, you like Chef Kevin? Maybe you're a Kyle Clifton guy.
I think
Rick Kent, Robert C. Robert C's
I think
electric lately.
Bonesy's going to make a little comeback. Bonesy's going to beat V-Man to get there, and then it's going to be Bonesy in the Elite Eight with Lane Train, and Lane Train's going to beat him.
All right, to the Hood region now. Chiefs fans in this region. This is a tough region. I got a lot of OG Jet fans. You have Neil in there, Peter Castro's in there, Rob from Glenhead, Weed the People in that matchup in the first round's great. David T and Big Joe, Purple Belt Mike, Nick T. I mean, Indy Jet. I can name everyone in the region.
So
Raymond Leaney, 2 4 percenters who are excellent.
Yeah, Luppy's a sleeper in that region too.
Even Yeti's really funny as a 12 seed.
I have Neil. I have Neil coming out of there. Him and David T. He's going to sneak by David. And then I have Chiefs fan and Neil. Chiefs fan's going to come out of that. I mean, it's got it.
You got Chiefs fan. You have Bones or Chiefs fan, Lane, Bobby. You said Gary. Chiefs fan, Lane, Gary, and then we need the chicken soup region. The number 1 overall seed is Charles Gorman. The 2 seed is the polarizing Beastbreaker.
Yeah. Listen, I'm telling you right now, I think based on my intel, based on my advanced analytics, I think Beastbreaker's going to lose in the first round.
Really?
I think that's a 15-2 upset. I do.
You think Briga's going to take him out?
I think Briga, yes. I think Briga's going to beat Beastbreaker in the first round. I have a weird feeling. You always have a 15-2 like stunner. I think Beastbreaker being a little new to your show, I could see some of the OGs kind of combating that 2 seed and not wanting that to happen. So I think Beastbreaker's out in round 1. I think it's going to be a big upset.
15 beating a 2 in round 1.
Yeah, happens every once in a while. So yeah, I see that. And then that region, I don't know. That region's going to be an upset. That's your Cinderella team's going to come out of that region. I don't know who it's going to be.
Love it. Well,
I don't think Gorman's going to win. I don't think Gorman's going to win that region. I think he's going to have a meltdown.
Frankie, Nicholas has just paid 20 memberships.
I'm out.
I don't know if this is a bounty on you, but either way,
I'm done. Either way, I'm out.
I think we got to treat it as such. Thanks for coming by.
Jake, you're the man. Thanks, appreciate it. You're leaving today, right?
I am leaving today, yeah.
All right. Also, see you back in New York.
Enjoy the weekend.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
I'll be following your quarterback breakdowns all week long.
You're the man.
You love every late round quarterback.
I hate the guys at the top.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frankie V joining us. You're the first of several guests on our final day that you'll be seeing on the channel. 20 memberships from Nicholas Alverson, who won the signed Jermaine Johnson jersey at the top of the show and is immediately trying to win more, and he's paying it forward. Thank you very much, Nicholas. This is for you.
It's the ASMANIAC Membership Raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Let's get to 20 channel memberships here from Nicholas. If you hear your name called, thank him. Ed Vargas, Rob Demob, Wish B, Insidious Nug Nug, Big Bunda. How do some of you people come up with your YouTube names? AZ Jets, Motivated T, Lou Rodriguez, Rich Wise, Zach Burkhart, Jenks, Big Green, Ganging Sai, Eddie Mayer, Mr. Roberts, Sean and Augustine, Stanley Santos, Sodak Jets, My Young NY, Doug Williams, Sean David, all receiving channel memberships. Welcome, welcome, Welcome. All right. Let's see here. 20. Just like that from Nicholas. I see someone wrote a comment about my hat. Who was that? Mr. Jetskis. That hat is super fresh. Brand new. We now have rope hats in the merch store. Go to jakeasman.com if you want a Jake Asman rope hat. Nicholas, by the way, I knew it was a bounty. Hey, you want to hop on? Ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite Jets ever. And now a big-time analyst at CBS Sports HQ, Leger Douzable. What's up, my
Jake,
friend?
how you doing, man?
What's going on?
Oh, man, the grind of the combine. That's what's going on, man. So today was the quarterbacks. I'm sure you've been telling everybody, quarterbacks, receivers, and running backs. So we just finished our last couple interviews. We had Quinshawn Junkins. We had Ashton Genty. So it's been good.
What do you remember at your combine experience? Take us back to that.
Well, unfortunately, Jake, I didn't go to the combine. I was undrafted.
Oh, you know what? That's right. But sometimes they have UDFAs.
They do. Yeah, but I didn't. So, like, I remember
motivate you as a player?
Oh, heck yeah. I felt disrespected that they didn't give me the invite to the combine, especially because I knew I was better than some of the players. And it's not me just not being cocky or anything. I just knew I was better than a lot of players that were here.
You probably lasted a lot longer than most, right? You had a 10-year career.
I know vividly who played as long as me or longer. Chris Long, Calais Campbell are the only two guys that played longer than me from my draft class.
The whole draft class or just your D-line room?
D-line. I'm talking about D-line.
I
mean, specifically D-line.
Yeah.
And then Kendall Langford played as long as me. Cliff Averill played as long as me. And there's one more guy I'm trying to think of. Will played for Tennessee and he played for Miami. Will, I forgot his name, but he's the other guy. But everybody else I played longer than.
So Aaron Glenn spoke Tuesday.
Yep.
Fired up, trying to basically push back at any quarterback questions.
Darren
Mucci,
hilarious.
He went up there and was basically like, what can I say that will not create any headlines? Did you take anything away,
like the
though?
yin and yang effect, right? One guy's calm, one guy's all about that life, right? So that's just Aaron Glenn, right? He's going to command the room.
I met him the other day, by the way.
Okay, how was that?
Just his presence is awesome. Like,
Yeah,
I just, as a
man,
Jet
he's
fan, I'm
amazing.
just dying for him to be the guy. I'm just nervous about any first-time coach.
Yeah, it's all good, man. But I love, again, you know me, I love the hire. I just think
You wanted him from the beginning.
Yeah, I just think it makes sense for a guy that's actually bled green and white to be in the building, right? Because you know this, Jake. It's different when you're in the New York media, right? So you have to know what comes with that. And he knows from a player's perspective what it means to play there. So that's going to be something that him and the players have in common, right? They can rely and know on the fact that he's worn that uniform in that building. So he knows the type of pressure they're under when you play for a New York media type team. So, again, you talked about it. He commands the room everywhere he goes. He's pushing back on the quarterback questions, which I thought was hilarious. It'll be interesting to see how this thing continues to develop as we go on.
What do you make of some of the buzz about the Jets moving up for one of these quarterbacks? I mean, Cam Ward had the quote today that they got some pieces. I love to be a part of it. I mean, again, that's what they all kind of say, but for the Jets to do that, like they're at 7, that'd be a lot to try and get up to 1 or 2.
It would be a lot. You would think at least 2 1s, maybe 2 2s.
Is Cam Ward worth it?
To me, I love his tape. He would have been right in that range of QB 3-4 from last year's class for me. Arrogant arm talent. When you talk about a guy that has an alpha mentality that people just tend to follow, and it's not just been at Miami. It was at Washington State. It was at Connor Ward. We just had a segment on CBS, and I was telling people, Jake, the craziest thing about Cam Ward that people aren't talking about is that in high school he ran a wing T offense, so they throw the ball like he was a triple option quarterback, and he's the one guy that you can pencil on paper and say he got better every single year. And it's rare to find that in college football, right? And he's experienced. He's played a lot of football as well. So talk about arrogant arm talent. He can put the ball anywhere on the field. And people worry about him potentially maybe playing off script too much. But when you watch tape, there's plenty of times where he goes through his progressions and the ball comes out of his hands right away. So when you see it enough on tape, that means he can do it, right? There were times he had to be Superman at Miami, and he did it, right? So, like, I would be all for that. Now, again, I think it just comes down to the compensation. But if you get your franchise guy, it doesn't really matter,
right?
Well,
the thing is that I struggle with is would a first-time GM and coach want to make that power play right away?
That's the thing,
they don't have to. Like, if they love the guy, sure, go up and get him. It's easy to say that, but it's like they don't have to do it yet. Like, Woody's not firing them if they don't have a quarterback after 1 year. They're going to get next year as well to potentially get their quarterback in the 2026 class. So I just don't know if they want to be that aggressive right off the bat.
That's the thing. Like, I've stated this before, and I know you have reservations about it. Like, Tyrod Taylor's been a consummate pro. I know people worry about maybe him being healthy, but again, you look at the free agent class out there when it comes to quarterbacks. Sam Donald's had his injury history, and are you going to pay $40 million?
I don't think he'd want to come back.
I don't think he'd want to come back either, right? Justin Fields is maybe a guy you maybe take a gander or look at, but
that's been the buzz this week, by the way.
From what I've been hearing, he's actually going to have a nice market
Yeah.
supposedly. So it'll be interesting to see where his number kind of balloons to as a free agent. Because let's not forget, he started off 4-2 for the Pittsburgh Steelers last year as well, and I think he's only 25 still, which is insane. He's younger than some of these quarterbacks coming out in this draft class still, and he's been in the league 4 years already.
Crazy.
So I think Tyrod's a great bridge guy. Do you maybe take a filler on a Jackson Dart in the second round if he's there? There is some late buzz that he could potentially go late first. I think he still ends up going in the second round as well.
You look at some of the other quarterbacks, does like Kyle McCord intrigue you? Or Will
he does.
Howard?
I like Kyle McCord. And the funny thing is, I had an interview with Will Howard today. Bright guy, man. One thing about him, Jake, I didn't know how big he was. He's taller than me. Like, he's a big dude.
How tall are you?
I'm almost 6'5".
Yeah, you're a big dude.
Like, Will Howard's a big dude.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And for a dude that size to be able to move that well, and then also the pressure he was under, because when you go to Ohio State, the expectation is to win championships. And he was able to do that. And I always like to see how quarterbacks react after adversity. And when you lose to the team in the North, like, there's no bigger adversity in college football. And for them to be able to galvanize around each other, go on that magical run in the college football playoffs and win it all, I think that says something about the guy that was under center for them. So Will Howard was already like a guy that I was starting to like really like. But after the interview, I really like him as well. Wouldn't be surprised if he didn't make it out of the third round.
Wow, that's strong praise right there. Now, if they don't go quarterback at 7, Leger, give me some guys that you think would be awesome fits with that number 7 pick.
Taylor McMillan makes a lot of sense. I think he'd be a good pairing with Garrett Wilson. In my latest mock draft that is going to drop on Monday, I actually have him taking Will Campbell to solidify that offensive line and put him at right tackle.
Is he a long-term right tackle, in your opinion? Some people talk about his arm length or whatever.
He had that issue in college, and it never was an issue there.
I don't care about it, but like,
exactly.
like when you played, so like you could speak. It's like, does that matter?
People say that. No, like, my thing is it'd be one thing if he ended up having a deficiency after he was playing. Like, he's dealt with this his whole life. Same thing with Mason Graham. People make, big bones about him having, I think, under 32 or right around 32 and 3/8 arm length or something like that. But it's like they said the same thing with Braden Fish, and Braden Fish should have been a first-round pick last year. And they didn't because of the measurables.
Right.
And this dude went out there and had like 6 sacks, right? Like, so like he was up for defensive rookie of the year. Like, sometimes you can overthink these things because people look at these metrics and these measurables and this is what it has to be. No, look at the tape. Like,
is that what you're looking at? When
I'm
you're
a tape guy,
yeah.
man. Like, all that measurable. Now, there are certain instances, like you have a shorter corner. You worry about some of the bigger receivers going up and getting the football, right? Maybe a center or guard. Willie Lampkins is a good example, right? The only thing is Willie Lampkins got extremely long arms. So, like, that's actually going to help him because as a center, you want a guy that's kind of shorter because you want him to have that leverage to get under people. So, but he's not big. He's only like 280. That's a big issue. But, like, again, when you're talking about an inch here or there, like, does that really matter in the longevity of that guy's career? Because people are saying the same thing about Mimbu. Like, he's 6'3", and they're like, that's short. I'm like, when does 6'3" become short?
I would gladly, as a 5'8" person, I would gladly take 6'3".
Like, when does 6'3" become short?
Yeah.
Like, that kills me. So, like, I actually have Will Campbell going to the Jets at 7 to really solidify and make one of the best young offensive lines in all of football.
I don't know if this player will be there. A lot of talk about him being a great fit for Jacksonville, but as a former defensive lineman, how would you feel about Mason Graham potentially being a pick for the Jets?
So that's why I brought him up, right? I don't think he's going to be there. I think he is going to go to Jacksonville at 5. But, for the longest time, I've been saying that somebody needs to be drafted next to Quentin Williams.
But we're so soft up there, Leger. Can you go and play next year? Like, I can't. I'm hoping like Glenn and Steve Wilkes like change that mentality.
Well, it'll be interesting to see the scheme fit, right? Will it be a traditional 4-3 or will it be kind of like the hybrid 3-4-ish that Aaron Glenn's run? Steve Wilkes has ran it in the past as well. That'll be the interesting thing because the body types will probably change up there. Now, again, if it's a traditional 4-3, then Mason Graham makes the most sense, right? Because he's a pass rushing 3 technique. Talking about him and Leonard Williams in there doing damage on third down and even on first and second down because people talk about Mason Graham's size. I think he measured in around like 6'2", 6'3", right at 296. he doesn't get moved off the ball. I mean, when you watch the tape, you would think because he's kind of like leaner that he would get moved. He doesn't get moved off the ball at all. So he plays with really great leverage. And people talk about his arm length. His hands from the ground to the man get there so quickly that it's not an issue because he gets his hands on offensive linemen before they get him on him. So I would love that pick. Like that originally was my pick, but I don't think he's getting past 5.
How about Warren at 7? Last year was the big Brock Bowers debate. I mean, I love Olufaccio.
Yeah.
I feel like that still was the right pick by the Jets. Is Warren someone you'd be comfortable taking that high?
Way more comfortable than taking Brock Bowers last year. I know
Really?
Brock Bowers had an amazing year, right? The thing is, you got to remember, the Raiders didn't have the pass catchers that the Jets had. So Brock Bowers wouldn't have had that year with the Jets, right? Tyler Warren not only is going to help you significantly in the run game because he will rip your face off in the run game, but my comp for him is just a little bit less athletic George Kittle. And that's not disrespecting Tyler Warren by any means because he can still go. He can still run. But you're talking about a junkyard dog in the run game, a guy that is so multiple, that can do so many things for you on offense, a guy that has proven they can go up and catch it at a high point, a guy you can put in a wildcat. I know they've been doing that with Tyler Conklin a little bit.
He'd be like our tush push guy.
Yeah,
too,
exactly. He can do so much. And, again, I think the biggest thing, because we're most likely going to have a bridge quarterback or a young guy maybe in the second round, I think why not give another piece to help the offensive line establish the run game? We've been saying this for the longest, like, when are we going to get 1,000-yard back, right? And I think he helps in that aspect that he can help with the run blocking with the offensive line. So Tyler Warren would be a great pick as well at 7.
How about the idea of the Jets, potentially trading back? Is there like any players in this draft that you see teams, non-quarterbacks coming up for? Because
that's a question
it's
mark,
tough,
right?
Because I don't know. Like, are teams trading up for Genty? Like, is he worthy of moving up? He's that special of a player?
I don't think anybody is going to trade up unless it's for a quarterback. Like, again, this is a deep D-line class, so I don't see anybody trading up for that. Now, say in some odd world, Abdul Carter doesn't go in the first 3 picks, maybe, but that doesn't do anything for the Jets.
Right.
Right. So I don't see anybody trading up for an offensive lineman. I don't see anybody trading up for a receiver. I mean, somebody could really love T-Mac, Tedaro McMillan. I just don't see somebody trading up, into the top 7 for him, right? I think teams would feel comfortable taking him from like 6 to 12, right? If there was a team that was going to move up and get him. So that's the thing. People have said, well, this is the perfect position to trade back. You got to have somebody that's willing to do business.
Yeah,
with
fans,
you
we all say we trade back, but what's crazy is the Jets were able to do it last year, just one spot with Minnesota because they wanted to get their quarterback.
Well, and they also, the thing is, it was a quarterback-driven draft, right? But we're expecting those first 2 guys to go before 7.
Right.
There were 6 guys that went in the top 12 last year. So, like, there were quarterback-hungry, needy teams last year. And this year, there's only 2 guys that teams would maybe potentially trade up for. And it's probably going to be before the number 7 spot anyway. So it's just like the next position that was as deep as quarterback was last year is D-line. But it's so deep. Teams are like, well, the guy's going to fall right into our laps. We don't need to trade up to get a guy. So I think that's the easiest thing for people to say is like, why don't we trade back? You got to have somebody that's willing to do business to trade back.
Your thoughts on Abdul Carter as a former D lineman? Now you obviously are studying his film and breaking it down for CBS. I mean, is he going to actually fall out of the top 3 now? Like,
no, no. Well, I think what is interesting, Jake, is the number 3 spot, the Giants. Depending on what happens for them at quarterback and what happens in front of them at quarterback, could that be a heavy debate when it comes to Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter? Who do you want more?
Right, they have Stafford. I don't think they would take a quarterback with that number 3 pick.
Correct, exactly. So, like, now it comes down to and their D-line's already kind of set, right? So I can see them saying, we'll take Travis. Then that's the case, especially if quarterback goes 1-2.
Right.
This is the scenario I'm painting. Quarterback goes 1-2 with the 3 spot. It's like we got 2 generational talent type people. We're the Giants. We have great edge rushers already. We have a really good defensive line. We need a playmaker on the outside, not only on offense, but in the defensive backfield as well. So Travis Hunter makes the most sense. So that is a scenario where I could see him potentially falling to 4 if that happens. If quarterback goes 1-2.
Do you like Shedeur Sanders? Do you think he's going to end up going in that top 5?
I think he's going to go in it easily I don't think he gets to 7. I know there's a lot of mock drafts that have us taking him at 7.
Which, by the way, he might be an awesome kid, but like you can't sell me on. Well, we got to move off of Rodgers because all that comes with him, and he's a celebrity quarterback. And then it's like, let's take Deion Sanders, son. Who I mean, you were in New Orleans. He had his own like Radio Row set up for his podcast.
Yeah,
like,
but I think it's
does that work in New York though?
I think it's a little different. The one thing you can say is this kid's always been under pressure because he's been prime.
That's true. That's a good point.
Right. So like, I think he would relish the lights in New York. And when you talk about the most pro-ready quarterback, it's him, without a doubt. Calm, feet in the pocket, knows how to go through his progressions better than any other quarterback in this draft class. People complain about his arm. Turn the UCF tape on. I mean, easy pitch and catch on a 55-yard post route to Will Shepard. Puts it right.
And this is a UCF alum saying
exactly. This. Which, I hated that play because it's third and forever, Jake. And I'm like, how does a corner let the receiver get on top of him? But, I mean, he wasn't stressed when he threw that, and that's 55 air yards, right? So, like, plenty of arm, right? He's kind of like the Drew Brees of this draft class as far as knowing exactly where to go with the ball. People will say he doesn't have the big enough arm. He has more than enough arm talent to be efficient in the NFL.
It's going to be so fascinating what the Jets do in free agency beyond just
for
quarterback, because that could also impact their needs in the first and second round as well.
Well, a sneaky need that nobody's talking about. If we lose DJ Reed, man, corner's a major need. Now, again, we did just sign Michael Carter to that extension. He was banged up all last year. You hope that he comes back healthy this year. Is he a player that they think can moonlight on the outside and maybe kick inside, on passing downs?
What about bringing back Brandon Echols on a one-year deal, too? Every time he gets a chance to play,
he just finds the ball. To me, that makes the most sense. I love DJ Reed. DJ Reed's going to have a gross market. Like, he's probably the number one corner. People will say maybe Carlton Banks, Chardavius Ward, or even Byron Murphy. I think DJ Reed's going to be the number one corner in this free agent market. So I think he's going to get a dumb deal, right? So if we lose him, I love the Brandon Echols, re-signing him on a 1, maybe even a 2-year deal, because to your point, Jake, every time he's in the game, the ball gravitates to him.
For a while, he was like the only Jet that had an interception for most of the year.
The ball just finds a way to gravitate to him. So I think he would relish in that moment to finally be a starter. So that'd be interesting to see what they do in free agency when it comes to him.
How about Jamie and Sherwood? Would you like to see the Jets bring him back?
I love Jamie and Sherwood, man. One of the smartest players on that team. It'd be interesting to see what happens with CJ.
Retirement could be an option too.
Yeah, with his contract as well. But this man led the league in solo tackles and didn't even start the first 2 or 3 games of the season. So like his development. And I remember Saleh telling me this. He was like, bro, he's one of the smartest guys I've been around. People forget he made a transition from safety to linebacker, right? Coming into the league. So, like, this was his first time actually playing linebacker. And you can tell every year, every time they were in base or CJ got banged up, he came in and he played well. And it all consummated into this year where he had a really good year. So, he's going to have a nice market as well, too.
Does Garrett Wilson get an extension this offseason?
I'm going to say nobody from 2022 gets an extension this offseason.
What are we doing? That's the guy you got to pay, no?
I mean, what's the market for him, right? Are you asking for $30 million a year?
I mean, but it only goes up every year, so I just feel like...
Yeah, I feel you on that, but it's just like...
and it's not the right message, too. That,
yeah, 100%. And it's not his fault, right? Because he's had inept quarterback play, right? Inept quarterback play. He would be the one guy I would say out of this class that makes the most sense to do an extension with. It'll be interesting because I'll give you a little tidbit. When a new regime comes in, people can say like, these are our guys now that we're here, but it's not like that, right? You kind of want to see how guys move around the locker room, move on the field. Do they mesh well with the culture you're trying to bring? And I think before they extend Garrett, I think they want to get to know Garrett. And could this be an extension that happens maybe this summer? Yeah, it could happen right before the season, but I don't think we're going to see anything in the near future. I think this is something that will probably happen like in August if it does.
You went through it with going from Rex to Bowles. What do you remember about that transition from a coaching standpoint?
It was a lot different. I'll tell you that for sure. It was a lot different. Practice schedule was different. How we did things were different. And that's the thing when you're dealing with a new coach. And that'll be the interesting thing with the players in the locker room to see how they mesh with Aaron Glenn. One thing I will tell you this is that he's coming to change the culture. So there's probably going to be some uncomfortable people. And I think he kind of even alluded to that in the press conference. Like, we're going to do things a certain way. Some people aren't going to like it, but they're going to have to get on board. So There's always a slight change when a new coach comes in, and it's all about adapting and figuring out the mesh point to what's the best way to do things between coach and players. That way, everybody's on the same accord.
Well, I love the answer he gave the other day when asked about the Quinn Williams thumbs down tweet with the Rodgers stuff. He said, hey, we spoke about it. We're going to handle it internally.
Correct.
You know, it's not going to be the last decision that people disagree with.
Exactly.
Like that, like we hear about the leader of men stuff. That was actually like seeing what that looks like.
Yeah, 100%. Again, because you're not always going to see eye to eye with your coach, but as long as there is a mutual respect at the end of the day and you guys are all doing on one accord for a common goal, that's all that matters. Like, it's crazy. Like I tell you all the time, Jake, like in the locker room, not everybody sees eye to eye, right? And that's why I love the locker room. It's probably the most unique workplace out of any job ever because people from different economical backgrounds, social backgrounds, religious backgrounds, and we all come together for a common goal. So it's just like there's so many different personalities in the locker room. Excuse me. That's why I love it because you get to learn about people. Not only on the field, but off the field as well. And, again, you're doing it for a common goal.
Let me tell you, this workplace environment here, not easy. I got attacked by the Colts mascot live on the air.
Really?
Well, he came up to us, and I was like, hey, let's go back to that time, 2002 playoffs, 41-0 Jets over the Colts. Then I brought up Peyton Manning's last ever game, 2010 playoffs with Rex. 17-16, Jets win.
Yep.
Walk-off field goal by Nick Folk, and the Colt mascot didn't like it.
And we beat them on that Monday Night Football game here, too.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That was a crazy Brandon Marshall game, I remember.
Yeah.
Crazy. By the way, I saw one of your former teammates yesterday, Antonio Cromartie.
Oh, what was he doing?
He's still trying to get into coaching, so he's here taking meetings. And we were just talking about the state of the Jets, and I go, it's basically how bad it's been since those playoff years. And he goes, we should have made it in 2015. And I go, you were on that team, you know.
I still have nightmares about that season to this day.
I'll get you out of here with some positivity.
Okay.
Nate says, I didn't know Leger was this smooth as an analyst.
Where have you been, bro?
Come on now, Nate. So Jay Douzable's the best.
I try, man. It's been a long grind. It's been a blessing, man. Like, I never take it for granted being here.
Yeah, but so many different – you're still doing stuff on Sirius on NFL Radio.
Yeah, 10 years in the league and to be able to work for CBS Sports, call college football games for ESPN, and then have my show on Sirius XM. It's a blessing, man.
What to you is the favorite event to watch at the Combine? Is it still the 40-yard dash, or for you as a D lineman, it's something different?
My favorite thing is the interviews, honestly, interviewing these guys just to check their temperament, see where they are mentally. I think there's nothing there's no test that can measure somebody's reaction to a question and how they perceive a question and respond to it, right? I always like to see, and that's the thing. I tell people all the time, like, when you're here this week, it's an evaluation week. Like, everything you do is being evaluated. There's literally scouts that'll dress down, excuse me, and watch guys do interviews because they want to see how they interact, right, and how they answer certain questions. And then they have the formal interviews themselves, and there's eyes on you. They record those for a reason because they can go back and watch tape, see how your body moves when you got a certain question. Did it, like, perk you up? Did it change you? Like, that's, to me, it's way more important than somebody running straight. I mean, you never run straight line in the NFL anyway. To me, that's the dumbest test ever. I call these the underwear Olympics. Now, some of the positional drills do translate, but a lot of them still don't either. So, like, to me, the interviews, obviously, and the medical things are the most important thing at the Combine.
Final question here, then we'll let you go because, I mean, I feel bad. You're coughing.
I know, man.
You're working too hard.
My voice is, like, done.
It's from a listener named Braisley who writes in, who are your top 6 non-quarterback prospects in the draft? If all of them are gone at 7, do you pick one of the quarterbacks or your 7th best non-QB prospect as your answer change based on which QB is still there? Yeah, who's on the big
if any of the
board
top 2 guys are there, then we have to take them. But she said top 6 non-quarterbacks.
Yeah, basically your top 6 players in the draft.
Of course, Dual Carter, without a doubt. Travis Hunter, Tedero McMillan. A lot of people haven't been talking about this guy, but they need to. Jahdae Barron. I have him as a top 10 player in this draft. Like, really enjoyed this conversation with him. When you talk about a versatile piece, he's probably the most versatile defensive player in college football this past year. He literally played like 4 different positions for Texas this year, and there's a reason why he won the Jim Thorpe Award. So he would be in there as well. Is that 4 or 5? Mason Graham, obviously, which would put me at 5, and I got one more. I'm gonna go Will Campbell.
Well, could be a Jet. And
Could be
the
a Jet
latest
at
mock
7.
from you.
Yep, he's my latest mock going to the Jets at 7 to solidify the offensive line.
You're the man. I appreciate you doing this. I got a magnet for you. I don't know if I gave you one last time I saw you in person.
I'll take it. Appreciate you.
We got it all. We got an ASMANIAC sticker for you. We got a Jake Asman show sticker for you. So
Appreciate
we'll
it.
have another magnet. Why not? I brought so many of these. You're the man. Appreciate you doing this.
Appreciate you, bro.
I will talk to you soon. Safe travels back. You're still based in Florida, right?
I'm based in Florida. I'm getting out. I got one more show to do, and I'm getting up out of here, man. I've been on the road for a month straight, so I can't wait to get home.
By the
with
way,
my wife.
those hoodies are nice.
Thank you, man.
CBS HQ.
Yeah, nice hoodie.
I love it.
Thank you.
You're the man. Appreciate you doing this.
Yep.
Leger Douzable, former Jet, now with CBS Sports HQ, is our guest. We'll take a quick break. Back with more from the Combine, live in Indy.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I want to apologize for yesterday. I was trying to show off the name on my jersey, but my desk chair doesn't swivel. So I got up and I showed off my butt.
When was the last time you took a shower?
I don't know. Thursday evening.
You haven't showered since Thursday?
Yeah,
You probably reek. Oh.
He stinks.
yeah.
Oh, you gotta be disgusting.
Constantly played down to competition. How the hell did he lose to Zach Wilson when Zach Wilson was fucking trash? Let me finish, okay? Are you...
How was the dinner the other night? Did you see Charles there? He had to leave early because his mom wanted him home. Do you have any other words also you want to ask me?
What was your question to me?
Do you remember Sam and Darnold? He was good, but then I think he retired because he got old.
He's on the Vikings.
I wish I can get Charles's recipe for soup.
Me too.
Yeah, but anyway, Mourners, Knoble is alive. He's just not starting yet.
Where is
I don't know what happened. I don't know.
Lane, thanks for the time.
Right now, what I need to have happen, Charles, I need you to put on the Gorman tank. It's Friday. The vibes are high. Put on the Charles Gorman-inspired Jake Asman Show tank top for the people.
I will maybe next week.
What? Put it on. Put it on. Oh, my God, he's doing it.
Football is back, bitches.
Give us one more spin around, all right?
Give us the full modeling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the ass. Yeah, we appreciate it.
Charles, would you like to respond to Gator? He says you look like you combed your hair with a pack of firecrackers. How come you didn't congratulate him?
I did on the baby. Yeah, he had a...
You didn't say this, though.
Hey, congrats on the sex.
Congrats on the sex. Oh, my God.
Yeah, how do you think babies are made?
You know, it's funny. True story. When I was a kid, I actually thought I came from a stork. I shit you not, man. Like, you know, you have all these dreams and shit. It's like, you know, here you go, here's your baby. That's what I thought happened to me when I was a kid.
So to be clear, you were not acquired via stork, right?
Yes, I was biologically made by my mother and father.
Dennis Gorman?
And my mother, Roseanne.
Shout out to them. They did a great job with you, Charles.
Was it sweet and passionate, or are you unaware of those details?
Why do I need to know those details?
I don't know. Maybe it would have. I mean, you wanted to know whether it was stork or baby making, so I don't know. Just figured you'd want intricate levels of detail.
My parents made love twice. They gave birth to my brother, and they gave birth to me.
Okay. Thank you very much for clearing that up.
I'll just put myself in these goddamn situations.
Yeah. I can't believe this. But one of your arch nemesis has just called in to challenge you. Buckle up.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the ASMANIAC Rumble.
What do we have here? Look at this guy. This guy.
Talk about gabagool. Oh, let me get some words in. Look, the Jets, Aaron Rodgers, quarterback. Josh Allen, quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, quarterback. We bring back Tom Brady. You trying to tell me that those 4 quarterbacks aren't going to make a difference?
Timeout.
Look.
Tom Brady is happily retired.
He's
Patrick
forgot something.
Mahomes
You don't know
is
what
doing
you're
his
talking
own
about.
thing.
Hey, you don't know what you're talking about.
Hey,
Hey.
relax.
Hey.
Before you blow up with blood pressure. I'm not going to tell you again.
Hey.
Relax.
Oh.
I'm not going to tell you again.
You're making me upset. I'm getting upset.
Yeah, getting upset what?
Yeah,
What are you getting upset at?
Yo.
Get out of here then. Go. Go.
Oh.
Go. If you're going to act like a crybaby, go.
Oh, I'm getting upset. I can't feel this way. I need a new diaper. Ma! Meatloaf and a diaper change! Ma!
Jake, this is embarrassing to the public. I'm not going to listen to this crap.
What?
You're making a damn fool of yourself.
Mahomes on the Jets, along with Tom Brady and Josh Allen on the Jets. It's going to make a difference. A winning combination. Man, a diaper.
First of all, you're making an ass out of yourself, and you're not acting like a normal human being. Please act normal.
That you don't use to clean the funnel butt. Funnel butt.
If you're gonna act this way towards me, I'm not gonna act like I'm not gonna hear this BS.
Funnel butt.
Stop. Get out of here. I don't want to hear him.
Oh.
Do you understand me? Take a walk. I said take a walk.
Where am I going?
You know where you're going, to the back of the line. Now get your ass out of here and act like a civilian and do your part like everybody else.
Jake, he told me to get to the back of the line, Jake. I don't like when people tell me to get to the back of the line.
Get used to it, son. I'm not going to accept you.
I will go to the back
Get
of the
in the
line.
line.
You.
Good.
All right.
Give me a real person to talk to. I'd like to speak to Bobby, but he's a little sick right now. That last guy you heard on there, that guy.
That was something. What a moment in time. Thank you again to Leger Douzable, who just joined us there. That was a fun spot with him. Thanks to all our guests this week. I'm going to forget names, but I believe in order it was Nick Faria, Will Parkinson, Antoine Staley, Connor Rogers. Forget doing it in order. I just got to name names. Connor Hughes, Brian Costello, Mike Tannenbaum, Chad Pennington, Leger Douzable, Frankie V, Landry Locker, Cody Stutes, Mia O'Brien, Bobby Trossett, Alex Barth, Brandon Cristal. I think that might have been everyone. I'm probably missing one or two. But it's been a great week. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the coverage. I'm a little concerned. Oh, we forgot Ian Rappaport, who was involved in the controversy of all quote-unquote controversies at this event, which is hilarious. Yeah, we've had a lot of great guests. So it's been a sick lineup. The guests are so great, I forgot about arguably the most famous person we had on the show this week, Ian Rappaport. So thank you all. I might get the flu, though. Leger was coughing into the mic over here, so hopefully we're okay. Gonna have to get some, cleaning supplies to de-infect it so I don't get the Leger flu. Everyone's getting the Indy flu, post-Indy, though. It's just a thing. I also think I got to count the Colts mascot, and I might have to sue him as well. I mean, this was assault. Look at this. Thank you to Sean who tweeted me this screenshot. This was actual assault live on the air with me getting attacked. That is Art Stapleton right there. What are you looking for? Oh, okay. Thank you, Aaron Wilson. He's working hard. Oh, Aaron was on the show, too. That's another guest. We'll count that one. Yeah, but this was actual assault. I mean, unbelievable. Knobcraft writes in, don't forget the riveting calls from Rob with the hard R. Rob from Glenhead, man. Called in yesterday. Kyle Clifton, by the way, I didn't forget about you, Kyle. You gifted a membership. I don't know who got it because the chat is too far back, but someone got a membership from Kyle. That means Kyle's in the next ASMANIAC Raffle, which, if you're tuning in late, we did at the top of the show. Also, I want to share with everyone that tomorrow is the last day to enter the ASMANIAC Madness pool. I'll keep repeating it. If you want to fill out a bracket, tomorrow is the last day to fill one out to be eligible to win a prize for first, second, and third. I will announce what the prizes are once the tournament gets underway, which will be tomorrow we're going to have the Chris G versus Charles Gorman matchup, the 16 versus a 1, to kick off the Chicken Soup region. On Sunday, when I do a show, just to give you guys an idea of the schedule, and for those of you who want an updated schedule, check the Discord. Boomtown, our committee chair, has been posting tentative schedule dates. Jason and Jerusalem versus Johnny Boy will go down on my Sunday show. So I'm working every day this month pretty much. There's a few days I'm traveling. We might only do 1 show instead of 2, but we're working hard for you. Free agency is also starting March 10th, so that's going to be crazy. But the Chicken Soup region is the first region we're going to do. Then we're going to do the Hood region. Then we're going to do the Butter region. Then we're going to do the Train region. The reason is because if you're looking at the bracket, we're doing the left side and the right side. So there's an order to this. Once we get past the first round, it's going to speed up a lot quicker. But we're doing 2 shows a day, Monday through Friday. You guys know typically I do at least a Saturday and Sunday show. Sometimes only 1, but usually both. So March is going to be insane. Bino writes in, Jake, after witnessing that, you possibly need some jabbing lessons from Gary. Just saying. I thought I stood my ground. I talked trash to the bitter end. I reminded Blue, the Colts mascot, of the 2002 playoff win by the Jets. I reminded Blue, the Colts mascot, of Peyton Manning's last ever game as a Colt, a loss to the Jets. We don't need to bring up the 09 AFC Championship game. But I stood my ground. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary's name was mentioned. Gary is on the line, and he will start off our caller segment here on the show.
Chicken with pasta is worse than peanut butter with sandwich.
Oh, what's up, Jake?
Gary?
How are you? Yeah, how are you?
How are you? I'm good. How are you?
My light on. It's a little dark in here.
Well, make it lighter.
There you go. Yeah, all better. Is that better?
You look great.
All right. 1 to 10. How would you rate me on just looks? Give me a number. 1 to 10.
1 to 10?
1 to 10.
10 out of 10. You're a handsome devil.
All right. I would have taken a 4. I could live with a 4 or a 5, but all right. You're gonna guess me up. I'll take a 10. That was a wild call by Frankie. First, trading up for Cam Ward. Like, I get he's really the only quarterback in this draft that's like, all right, like this guy's gonna be good. Like, I'm trying to say Shedeur Sanders it is Mac Jones 2.0. Like, you're gonna wake up one day and you're gonna be like, wow, I got the 22nd best quarterback in football. This does nothing for me. I think other guys, these Jackson Dart guys, Will Howard is a first rounder. Tyler Shuck, that guy's on that. Jake, I think I went to middle school with Tyler Shuck. He's been in college for like 10 years. He's going to be drafted in the the second day. I don't even know what to say to that.
He was going through options. I don't know.
I mean, but and this is how you end up with Kenny Pickett when you just try to say, I hope this guy works out. Let me take him early.
It's a developmental guy. He didn't say take Tyler Shuck in the first round.
They said the second day, didn't they? They said he was QB3.
So that might be his personal ranking, which I don't even know if it is. We're talking about maybe the 3rd round. Aaron, you know I'm live on the air. You're in the camera shot.
Yes, Boomtown. Spencer Rattler is good. That's why he's going to start this year.
You can sit right there, Aaron.
Spencer Rattler gets 3 stars or 4 stars. Everyone else gets 3 years, 4 years. Spencer Rattler, is my mic low?
No, your mic's on, but I do see what people are saying. It's too low. Like, flip it so it's directed at your voice.
It shouldn't. Is that better?
Yeah, well, it's now too low. See if you could raise it. Your mic needs Viagra. If we're gonna be blunt, that's what Jay just wrote in. He's right.
Oh, I could just turn it up. Like, that could work too. Is that better?
Say the alphabet.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Yeah, I just had to turn it up. I gave it a little Viagra. We'll see how.
There you go.
We're good now. Yeah. And then Riley Leonard was like the interesting thing to me because it named Riley something Riley Leonard can't do. I don't know. Simple things like little screen passes and hitch routes he's uniquely bad at. Anything over the middle of the field is erratic with no zip on it. He's a one-read quarterback. Riley Leonard, that's not – you want an NFL – I'm not even joking when I say this. You want an NFL comp to Riley Leonard? Zach Wilson. He's a one-read quarterback. If you took
Gary,
Riley Leonard, you know how many interceptions that guy's going to throw? Interception machine. Go ahead, Jake.
We're not talking about taking any of these guys in the first round. We're talking about them being day 2, day 3 developmental picks that probably don't work out, but you need a quarterback in the pipeline if you're not going to do it in the first round. That's all we're talking about. I don't know about any of these guys. I have no idea. They might be good. They might suck. Chances are they won't be good because that's just typically what happens with non-first round quarterbacks. Very rarely, everyone will say Dak Prescott or Kirk Cousins or Russell Wilson. Now go do the math on how many other guys were also picked in those rounds that never panned out. You look at the best quarterbacks in the league, most of them were first-round guys. Jalen Hurts is a second-round guy. He just won the Super Bowl, but he's more of an exception, not the norm. Like, typically, the best quarterbacks in the league are all first-round picks. I don't think the Jets ultimately will take a quarterback in round 1, so we're basically talking about some other options to get someone that can maybe develop into a long-term starter. Maybe. It's unlikely, but that's the thought.
Yeah, give it. Let's say the first 2 rounds. After the first 2 rounds, your chance of getting your starting quarterback beyond that, a long-term starting quarterback beyond the second round, is like slim to none. I mean, it happens, sure, Brock Purdy, but it's exceptionally rare. It's usually the first round. We say the first 2. It's usually the case. The interesting thing is Cam Ward, and Cam Ward can be a starting quarterback. I think people are coming around to the fact that Cam Ward is drastically better than Shedeur Sanders, which I've been trying to say. But how good do you think he is, and how much would you be willing to give up to move to him? Like, if you're going to give up a 1, this year's 1, next year's 1, and a 2, you better be damn certain. That is a haul. You better be damn certain that this guy is not just going to be your starting quarterback, but he's going to be like a top 10 quarterback in the league. And I think he's good. I think there's a lot of upside in him. I don't know that, to be a top 10 quarterback, you're going to say he's going to be better than Dak Prescott.
Cam Ward or Jaden Daniels?
For 1 year or for long term?
No, their careers.
I would go with Cam Ward.
This is why you're Gary. Amazing.
Okay, who would you take?
I would take Jaden Daniels, Gary, the guy who just had the best rookie quarterback season ever.
Okay, so the year before that, C.J. Stroud had the best rookie quarterback year ever. Who would you take,
Correct.
Cam Ward or C.J. Stroud?
C.J. Stroud.
So you don't think that Cam Ward's a top 12 quarterback in the NFL?
No, I don't know if he is or isn't, but I'm going to bank on the guy who's already done it at the professional level.
You're already guessing that he isn't. So if we agree, top 12, and C.J. Stroud's not the top 12 quarterbacks in the NFL, you're taking him over. You're taking C.J. over Cam Ward.
I'm playing the odds. The odds are that Cam Ward is probably not going to be as good as C.J. Stroud. Doesn't mean he can't be, but I'm playing the odds with that.
I like C.J. Stroud a lot. I'm a fan of C.J. Stroud. He's not a top 12 quarterback in the NFL.
Not yet. He was as a rookie, and then he took us. He had a sophomore slump. We'll see what he does in year 3.
Okay, so we agreed that if you're taking a quarterback in the first round, you want to be a top 12 guy, right?
Yes, I think if you take a quarterback.
C.J. Stroud is borderline that at best. If you're saying I take him over,
he's
Cam
not a finished
Ward.
product yet, Gary. You can say it's not like he's still on his rookie deal going into year 3. His O-line was not great this year. They lost Stephon Diggs to injury. They lost Tank Delta to injury. While he was not great, it's not like C.J. Stroud is now all of a sudden thought to be a bust.
No, I don't think he's a bust.
He won a playoff game for the second year in a row. He played well in that game against the Chiefs. They had a chance to win that game too.
If I could get C.J. Stroud for the Jets, I'd jump at it in 10 seconds. He'd be the best quarterback we've had since Chad Pennington. I get it.
So you would take Cam Ward over C.J. Stroud. Then, if you feel that way, then they should make the trade because then it's worth it.
Would you make that trade? Would you trade 2 1s and a 2 for C.J. Stroud?
Yes, I would. I will bank on the C.J. Stroud I saw as a rookie, and for some of this year with better coaching, they have a new offensive coordinator coming in. They're going to revamp their O-line, get another receiver healthy. I will take my chances with C.J. Stroud.
All right, I would not make that. And I think we agree on C.J. Stroud, and I would not give up that much value for C.J. Stroud.
Where are they finding a better quarterback, though? That's the point. It's hard to find a quarterback. We're gonna thumb our nose at C.J. Stroud, really?
I'm not thumbing my. You want to be in a position 2 years from now where the Jaguars were with Trevor Lawrence. Now I got to decide whether I'm going to give this quarterback who's kind of middling $60 million a year, and I'm never really going to compete for a Super Bowl. You want to be in that spot. I think Stroud's better than Lawrence.
That's my point, though.
I do too. It's having a middling quarterback, and I think if we ranked them 1 to 16, 1 to 32, I think CJ is closer to 1 than he is 32. So I think CJ is above average, but he's not that much above average. And I like CJ. I was saying he was the only good quarterback in that draft, right? I like CJ, but like, is that the guy that you're going to put, the shoulder on the franchise on his shoulders to carry me to the Super Bowl? If not, you're giving up a lot of value for him. A lot. 2 1s and a 2, which is Frankie's probably right. That's probably the asking price. That's probably the cost of doing business. That's a lot. You better be damn sure that this is going to be a top 10 guy if you do that.
Nobody knows for sure. That's the thing. But like, here's the thing. Like that's the price. I don't think the Jets are going to do it, but if they did do it, like if they're wrong, this regime's getting fired. Like that is you get fired if it doesn't work out all in move in year 1. It's why I don't think they're going to do it. I think if it's a different conversation if somehow one of these quarterbacks, whether they like Shador or Cam, is there at 5, and you call Jacksonville up and you say, hey, what will it take to move up 2 spots? And they're still going to get probably a player they're coveting at number 7 in that scenario.
Let me ask you this: what's the worst scenario? We give that package up and trade up to 2 to get Cam Ward, or we just sit and draft Jackson Dart at 7. What scares you more?
Taking Dart at 7.
Yeah, I agree. I can't take Dart at 7.
You can't justify Dart at 7.
You can justify Ward. Yeah, I agree.
You could explain Cam Ward. There's enough people that think he's a franchise quarterback in this draft that you could sell it.
No, I like Cam Ward. Cam Ward was a guy that Columbia High School in East Texas, went to Incarnate Word, an FCS school, killed it there, went to Washington, killed it there, and was probably the best player in college football last year. Like, he's got a guy that's gotten better. All reports are he's an absolute workaholic. He's the first guy in, last guy out type of guy. I like Cam Ward. I just don't know if I'm gonna give up that much. I want him to be a top 10 quarterback. I don't know that I don't know that it is. Like I said, I wouldn't give up that hole for CJ Stroud. Like, I don't know that like CJ Stroud is a guy that you have CJ Stroud and now you're good. You're competing every year he's on your team. I just, I don't want to be in a position where Miami was with Tua or Jacksonville was with Lawrence, but now I got to decide if I'm giving this guy $60 million. And once you do that, and I understand the downside, like what if you let him go? Now you have nothing, and that sucks too. Like it's a bad spot to be in, and I don't want to mortgage my future to be in that spot because I kind of see Cam Ward being kind of, in that middle 12 to 15, 16 top quarterback. And I was like, do you want to mortgage everything for that?
If they think he's better than that, I would. If they only think his ceiling is to be a top 15 guy, I don't think I would do it.
And yeah, like you were asking me about Dart. I said I like Dart. I should count him out. Jake Plummer, Kerry Collins. Like, I mean, I think Cam's better than that, but like I don't like if you're saying who's better, like who's going to have a better season, Jaden Daniels or Cam Ward. Jaden Daniels is better. I just think he's going to get hurt all the time. So I think Kyler Murray is probably better than Cam Ward. Would you make that trade for Kyler Murray? He's still fairly young. Would you trade 2 1s and a 2 for Kyler Murray?
No.
That's kind of where I see him projecting out to be. Like, I'm just not really into that.
What are you into?
I was into Frankie saying that I was going to win my region and go to the Final Four.
Are you feeling good about your chances, Gary? You like your picks?
Yeah. I'll tell you who, and I think Bobby's going to pick him off, but I tell you who I don't want to face at any point is Mikey. He's got quite a following. I think Bobby has enough good stuff in the bank where Bobby can pick him off. But
that's going to be.
I don't want to see him. I really don't want to see him. I'm not looking past Southwest, but I don't really want to see Mikey.
Hello, I'm Mikey. I'm Bobby's little bro. Oh, have you seen Jake Graves? She's so beautiful. I love my boy Jake, but not in a gay way. I am so happy. I'm not going to touch anything.
Mikey, are you there? Mikey? We can't see you, Mikey. It's a black hole, Mikey. Mikey? Mikey?
These kind of calls from Mikey are going to help the rest of the pool here because this right here is not helping him, obviously.
Mikey, are you there?
These are the kind of calls we need from Mikey.
Mikey? Mikey? Mike? No. I mean, this kind of just adds to the mysteriousness of Mikey. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, do you think this is planned? Like he's not showing up? Like he's in a darkness retreat?
Yeah, this is an odd one. Ladies and gentlemen, Cody Stutes, a real friend, providing another water bottle because the media center here to get water is legitimately a 50-minute walk.
Cody Stutes was your friend that went to A&M that you worked with in Houston?
Cody went to Texas Tech.
I mean, I went to Texas Tech, right? Yeah. Can you bring him on and have him explain this Tyler Shuck thing? Because I don't understand this.
He did it on the show the other day. He already broke down Tyler Shuck on the show.
Oh, did he? I'll go back. I don't understand.
I have a caller, Cody, who wants you to talk about Tyler Shuck again. I'm like, he did it on the show the other day. How much time are we going to spend on this guy? Yeah, he says, go watch the film.
I'll go watch it. Do you know what day it was? I'll go back and watch it. Do you know what day it was?
I got rocked. Dude, I said on the air, my friends are watching the video of me getting rocked by the Colts mascot. I said I'm going full Rappaport and alerting NFL security. All right, I might sue as well. All right? I got Jordan Schultz paying my legal fees. We're sending a message, baby. Anyway. Anything else, Gary, or could I go to another caller?
You can always go to another call, man. It's your show. I don't want to take up your time. I appreciate you taking my call, Jake.
I think it's been a while since we had a that was probably our first debate since the moon landing argument.
I think so. I want to have Fialco on to break down. I haven't watched any tape on Tyler Shuck because he was like wasn't even on my radar because he's like 35 years old and not good. He wasn't good in college. So like, why am I looking at this guy? But I want to see Fialco's take on Tyler on Shuck. I don't understand this. Jake, he's been in college for 7 years. He was never good. I don't understand this at all. He couldn't keep a job in college. He's the same age as Wilson and Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. The same class as those guys. I don't understand. I don't.
Plants are trying to kill me, so I think I'll eat a stick of butter.
Gary bringing it on the day before the brackets need to be submitted, as you would expect. Hey, last chance to make your pitches. Why people should vote for you in the tournament. Brackets are locked in tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern. Hit the like button if you're tuning in. We're taking more memberships. If you missed the start of the show, ASMANIAC Raffle 16 is in the books. We're now up to number 17. That will go down next week. Signed Curtis Martin helmet. Signed Darrell Rivas helmet. Signed Don Maynard helmet. Our top 3 prizes for Raffle 17 now. Devin is in on Raffle 17. He has gifted 1 channel membership. Devin, thank you very much for your service.
Oh, nice.
All right, let's continue right now. Mike D's Nuts with a super chat. Jake the Jersey will go out tomorrow morning. Mike, you're the man. Appreciate your support as always. Let's get the more calls, shall we? Let's say hi to... Oh, Mikey called back in, but then he just went away. Mikey, try again. We'll get you in. Philly Noodles, though, is next. Hey, Philly.
What's going on, dude?
What's up, Philly?
Not much. Douzable, speaking about Mason Graham, I had like kind of question for him. I put in there, but I guess it's my thing is if it's so bountiful, like if the drop from 1 to 2 is that rough with D tackle, I guess that's why you would go Mason Graham at 7. But if there's so many of them, it's like, man, just grab one at 3rd round if it's that deep. You know what I mean? It may not be a Pro Bowl player. But if Philly just did what they did and other teams have done what they did in the past, you just got to collect all of the decent pass rushers you can.
I mean, Philly also has a quarterback, though, too.
Yeah, well, of course, yeah. So my thing is, I've been saying it when they got Moogie, I said, here it is. I think this is a move to jump to as high as they can to grab Ward. It's weird, right? So whatever's going on with Carter, whatever's going on with Stafford, whatever's going on with Darnold, it's going to predict what happens with this draft. Where Darnold goes, where Stafford goes, and where whatever's going on with Abdul Carter and his surgery and non-surgery.
Yeah, correct. I mean,
it sucks. It now puts us again in another like situation where we don't decide, obviously the top of the draft no matter what. But my thing is, so my opinion is,
I still have Colt mascot hair in my mouth. Ugh.
Oh. Yeah, you got ran through, man. I felt like your boy Frankie should have at least did like a little shove, little Dom security. You know what I mean?
I'm pressing charges.
Yeah, you should actually hold him accountable too for that. But he just witnessed and laughed. I was like, oh no, that's not a friend right there.
No, I got rocked, man. Got attacked.
I mean, so I would come up for Ward only for the fact that we could sit here and say, all right, if you don't, and whatever you draft is whatever, and if you do, if it fails. Everyone's got to you got to take a shot at some point. the first year is obviously crazy, but let's say it pans out. Let's say it doesn't pan out. There's a chance, as you, as an Asmaniac and show leader yourself, without Rodgers, you think we're going 4 wins. So you could go 4 wins with him, and then the next year hit the playoffs. We don't know. And for me, it's like, if you intend to win, you're not even looking at the season as losing. So you don't care about landing a top 10 pick next year. You don't want to battle for that. You don't care about that first round having a top 10 pick. It's not a good position to be in. You want to fall to the bottom 15, 15 to 32, right? So my thing is, if you grab Ward, it works out. Whatever draft pick they're getting is clearly not a top 10. Again, thank God. Whatever you give to the Titans. Whatever the Titans do is none of your business. You don't care at that point. You're moving forward. I just think that with the Carter nonsense, maybe they just draft Ward themselves.
Hey, Philly, can we talk about something more important? Philly's limp noodle is not you. It's someone else.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying, dude. I don't know who this is.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure.
So I sent you that super chat once. I'm like, dude, who the hell is using my
monitor? I don't know. I was just confused.
I think it's Neil. I think it's Neil. That's been my guess.
I don't know if Neil knows how to make another YouTube account.
I don't know. I think he does, man. That guy's a pretty sly old dude, But anyway, yeah, I really think you take the shot. You're not trying to be bad next year anyway. So shoot from the hip, do what you got to do, and put your balls on the counter and run the game. Do your thing. If they're built for this shit,
yeah,
go for wins.
But if they don't have conviction, Philly, then you can't do it. That's really what it comes down to. Ladies and gentlemen, if you missed it earlier, why I'm about to have a lawsuit with the Colts mascot.
Yes.
Oh! I got rocked. Absolutely rocked. It's not great. Terrible. Part of being out here and living life on the edge of the combine, though, folks. Living life on the edge. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. If you don't hit the like button, the Colts mascot Blue is going to show up at your home and attack you unsolicited as well. Here's another angle filmed by KPRC Houston Texans reporter Aaron Wilson, who was on site.
Where's Goodell?
Leave it to Aaron to put this on.
Oh my God!
Somehow,
Blue, you're sick. 41-0 Jets beat the Colts in the playoffs. Peyton Manning's last game. Sanchez to Aylen Edwards after a Cromartie kickoff return to put us in great range for a Nick.
Oh, here. Oh my God! Assault! Hit the like button. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Let's say hello right now to a man who needs no introduction. But I think Gators made about 8 of them by now.
Did you get jumped by a Colt?
I don't know what that was, Beast. He was like this blue, Barney looking thing.
Did you want me to come in there and kick his ass for you?
Yeah. How would you kick his ass? Show us.
Come here. Get him. Come here. That time you try to get it, you'll be dead. And I'm talking dead. D-E-A-D. You see that? Hey, Colt. Don't try it again. See this? You want to take a ride? Come here. I got something for you that'll fit your neck very nicely, easy. Come here. You want to get a nice little tick? Uncle Paulie's got something waiting for you. So next time, Mr. Colt, don't think I got the Mob Brothers waiting. They're waiting for you. And you know what I mean by the Mob Brothers are waiting for you. We don't play your kind. Oh, next time, Jake, this comes handy. This is a 34-ounce bet. This is my baby right here. Uncle Paulie is what we call it. So if you want to try again, come and get it, because I got something that'll fit in there just nicely. And all the little crybabies, and if I start with you, Matthew, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bitch slap you like I was your father. And you know what I mean by bitch slap? You know what I mean by that? That means bitch slap. That's what we call it up in uptown New York. If you want to be a man, come here and face me one-on-one. I'll put boots on. You get in the ring. Put your little pink panties on, and we'll get you in the ring. And I'll take you to school next time. And Brigger, your countdown to destruction is coming on up. So this, my friends, is just a countdown, just like years ago. It's the final countdown. And remember, Brigger, when the clock gets to 0 and I knock you off for the last blow, you're going to see this. Boom.
You know what time it is? A beast breaker. 666. I'm gonna take my fist and shove it up your ass, and then he got my.
Beast, get some oxygen, my guy. I appreciate the support. Beast was out of breath there, pretending to fight the Colt mascot.
Yes.
Oh! All right, more of your calls right now. Let's say hi to Stan from Westport. Hey, Stan.
Hey, Jake. So great you're out there. That's pretty awesome. Listen, I'm no lawyer and I'm not giving legal advice, but as far as like the prosecutor goes and the defense from, the crazy Colt mascot, I think they're probably just going to claim it was horseplay. Yeah.
well played there, Stan. Anyway. I'll give you one of these.
Anyway, now listen, first of all, Asmaniac Madness is a brilliant stroke on your part and brings together the best of the Asmaniac cohort, obviously, in a real competition. So it's going to be pretty insane. And the other thing is, I'm telling you, your raffle prizes are amazing. Like a Curtis Martin helmet, HOF, a Don Maynard helmet, like with that too thick, face guard thing, man, that's like incredible stuff. That's worth a lot of money.
I appreciate it. Yeah, you know what? We've had an amazing amount of support from this fan base that, quite frankly, deserves more than what we get from the actual team we root for. So, I try to come up with cool prizes that people like, different themes. Yeah, we did successful Jets draft picks for the one we did today. The next 3 here are Hall of Famers, Jet Hall of Famers. So, we'll mix and match some of the best that we have.
It's great stuff. Listen, as far as the combine and the draft, first of all, Leger is very, very knowledgeable. I give him a lot of respect and credit. I just hope he would be like a consultant sitting in the draft room for real, because he knows his stuff. I mean, he's down on the details of all these guys, and hopefully could, help the Jets do the right thing. But as far as all this talk about trading up, man, I just can't see it for Cam. I'm sorry. I mean, he may work out pretty well, but I think the give, what is it, like 2 firsts and a second is the talk? That seems absurd to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I think if you look at the trade chart, 1st, 2nd, and next year's 2 is enough, because people aren't valuing how big of a deal the number 7 pick is. Some of it, though, depends on what players do the Titans or the Browns want in a trade back, and will they be there at 7? They're more willing to make a deal with you if they think they have a couple guys in the same bubble that they'd be comfortable taking in a trade back.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Listen, if Will Campbell, I think you made a great point before, Leger, if Will Campbell slips to 7, you have to grab him, right? I mean, he's a legitimate potential Canton-bound guy as far as that goes. And I think the one real certain Canton-bound legit prospect is got to be Travis Hunter. Because, Jake, when's the last time in the NFL draft legitimately a 2-way player? I mean, he's overtly stated he wants to play both sides of the ball in the NFL. Now, that may not happen, but he is of that caliber, and that it's been, I don't know how many decades. Even Dion, you can't really count. So I think that's an incredible athlete right there, and he's got I don't know. To me, I have to grab him, and the buzz is Shador is going to slide down. So I don't know.
We'll see how far he actually slides, though, because teams are so.
No, I don't think.
Quarterbacks.
I agree with you. I don't think he's gonna. If he's not one or two or three, he's gonna be 4 or 5 or 6, right? He's not gonna go too far.
I agree.
Just because of the need. All right, man. Well, enjoy yourself. Have a good time. Don't get beat up anymore, man.
Thank you, Stan. Good call. Stan's in the tournament next year if he consistently keeps calling. All right, we're running out of time here, so points got to be quick because I got to wrap. I got something to take care of here before I fly back tonight. There might be an afternoon show. Stay tuned for that in the Discord. Super chat from Matthew. Vote for Dave Briga. Hey, Briga as a 15 seed taking out Beast would be quite the storyline. Johnny Boy writes in, Briga will destroy Beast. Also vote for Johnny Boy. Johnny's matchup is Sunday against Jason in Jerusalem. Will the campaign efforts help Johnny? Or do people like Jason in Jerusalem enough to vote him through? More calls. Ladies and gentlemen, Chef Kevin's on the line. Hey, Kevin.
Jake, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
Great, great. Hey, amazing work out there, man. Like the stuff with Chad, man, that was awesome. The Mike T interview, that was my favorite, man. You weren't shy at all about the interviews, and you interviewed him before. Like, you guys definitely have a relationship. So the angle you was able to come at him and do the follow-up questions, dude. So like,
yeah, he wasn't offended to some tougher questions, like because he knows who I am. Like, he knows I'm a real Jet fan. Like, I'm not trying to like be antagonistic. I'm like truly trying to get answers to questions we as fans all have.
Mm-hmm. And the one where it's like, would you have been considered for the job? Would you have took it? And he gave his ESPN route or whatever. Like that was funny, man. Just salute to you and the job that you did, man. Just very supportive and thankful that you're able to give us some behind the scenes kind of stuff. Basically, man, just wanted to I appreciate you being able to give the trophy for the Asmaniac Madness in Keith's best honor, man. That's like, a very gracious thing to do, man. He's on our minds. You keep throwing up some clips of him and all that, man. It's like, gets a little emotional and whatnot, but knowing that he was one of us, man, is just, it's really great to see that and all. Obviously, this is a competition. I expect to do really good. The criteria I thought for this is to call in. So that's why I was surprised I didn't see, why I was surprised that I'm going against Snowball, because I haven't seen him call. Like, great guy, all that kind of stuff. But, Snowball, don't forget, you got to call in. Like, one of the
It's
things
also
that you
based
gotta
on
do.
the last year, though, and Snowball has called in.
Mhm.
You had to call in at least once over the last 3 months to be eligible.
Yeah. Hey, he got his one in. he definitely got his one in.
He's in, Chef Kevin. I mean, that's it's going to be quite the matchup with you guys. I'm excited. I just looked through all the first round matchups and I'm intrigued by so many of them. So I'm very excited for this.
Speaking about the first, I'm gonna quickly get through all my stuff, man. The one that I really like, the favorite for me is Scott and Hamburger. For me, that's my favorite like matchup. Out of the 7-10 seeds, like you could really see like Scott making some noise for whatever reason. I think it was work stuff where Berger hasn't really called in like that. But Scott, man, that dude, when he calls in, guy is freaking electric, man. Just knowing that he's getting a comeback and then pointing out some differences about Ham and Berger and dissecting that whole thing from a chef's point of view. Like, I thought that was pretty cool. The Graves and BMAC, that's I think that's going to be a dogfight, but I feel like Jay Graves is probably going to come out of that. If BMAC didn't get into the controversies that he did, maybe it would have been a little bit better. And then my favorite one, man, the who we got this week. Yeah, Turner's going to be crazy, man. But for me, man, don't sleep on One Punch Brigham, man. I feel like he's already had some scraps within the last couple of months or so. He's had some pretty epic ones. Right now with Beast, man, you see Beast shadow boxing and being out of breath. What are we talking about right now? Like, anybody feel safe with him as your security? Second chances, man. Like, Brigham, man, I got you. One punch, go ahead and bring it. And then just to follow up, man, with the committee, man, great job. I'm happy with everything y'all did and whatnot. I do feel like Lowski, I think he was done dirty twice, just for the simple fact that, went against Genergy. And then the other one, which no one's really talking about, is how Beast was a 2 seed over Lowski. I really felt like Lowski should have been that 2 seed. Let Beast, let them, battle it out, and then whoever gets it then next year, with Beast and what he's doing and all that kind of stuff. But for Lowski, man, I feel bad that he, is in this kind of predicament, but just do the best. Bonesy, hey, good dude and all that, but I expect to steamroll him. I feel like Joe Bonesy, out of everybody, I feel like he was the one that was snubbed out of the 64. Maybe he didn't get a call in or whatever, but Joe Bones, man, with his talk and all that kind of stuff, with his knowledge and everything, Joe Bonesy, man, he's the real dude to talk some stuff. Knowing that Mr. Bonesy, Big Bro, he with his talk, he went gone. Once JD left, that was it.
Right.
We didn't see Bonesy at all, and that hurt me. You got to stand behind it. When they fired Sala, you guys know I was behind Sala. When they fired him, I still kept calling. I didn't hide, man. I faced the smoke. The chat was getting at me. Callers, whatever. Hey, it's what it is, man. There's tons of opinions out there. Sometimes you're on the wrong side. Sometimes it ain't looking too good or whatever, but you still got to come in. So with the first matchup, Snowball, he got a snowball chance in hell against me.
Yeah, talk that trash, Chef Kev.
You know what I'm saying? And then I'm a steamroll. I'm in the train region, so I'm a steamroll Bonesy. I'm gonna get him out of the way, and then y'all gonna see me in the Sweet 16. Make sure you're making the right choices out there. If y'all going against me or whatever, I'm gonna fuck up your bracket. Don't do that. Make sure you got Chef Kevin on your list, man.
You headed out of here, Aaron? All right, I'll catch up with you before when I get off the air. Kevin,
Jake, man.
You're the man. I appreciate you. Great call, Kevin, to set the tone for this tournament. All right, we got a rapid fire, folks. I'm serious. 30 seconds. Quick. Make your takes, your last second pitches for why people should vote for you. I don't even just vote for you when you're competing, but people filling out bracket selections. Brackets locked for the pool at 9 a.m. tomorrow. Nick Shine with the super chat. Chef Kev doing an interview for next year's committee live on the air. Love it. I think Chef Kevin wants to compete, though. You're not wrong. Big fella says, don't take Chris G lightly. You can pull the upset. Look, Chris G's scrappy. I think we know, Gorman's the favorite. We get it, but, a 16 has beaten a 1 before. It has happened. It's happened now twice, I believe. Matthew Lemke in the next raffle for 5 with this. Bang! Bang! A vote for Dave, the Beast Slayer Briga is a vote for good internet. Well, the problem is Briga himself doesn't always have the best internet, to be fair. And also, Beast will never fix his internet. We have tried ad nauseum to give him instructions on what to do, how to call in, how to try and go on Wi-Fi, go off Wi-Fi. He doesn't listen to anyone. So it will never change. I have given up. It will never change. Calls. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen. Weed the people. Hey, Weed.
Hey, what's up, Jake? I was going to see
How are you?
I thought Rob was copying me yesterday. I had to check out Rob's Google history.
Do tomato stains come out of sheets?
Gotta watch out for that, man. And also, he called the cops on me?
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the ASMANIAC Rumble.
Hey, Weed.
Rob!
I'm
proud of you, Rob. I'm proud of you for yesterday coming on and doing that. I'm proud of you, man. You went from whining like a little girl to manning up and being something. I appreciate that. Giving me a challenge. That's what I like to see.
Hey, Cheech was looking for you this time. Chong, I said.
Oh, yeah, I know. I saw him. He popped by. Him and Chong. Him and Chong, yeah, we go way back. Way back.
They got to be your favorite movies, bud, right?
No, Half Baked and How High are my favorite movies.
Nice.
Still technically the same thing.
It's all good, buddy, man. We make the battle for the Asmaniacs, buddy.
Oh, it's all in good fun, Big Rob.
All in good fun, my friend. All in good fun.
I mean, you're still going.
Maniacs. Let's reveal the bracket for the first annual ASMANIAC Madness Tournament as soon as I get my pants back on.
Folks, that matchup in the Hood region, the 8-9. A lot of people focused in on that one. Who you got, Rob from Glenhead or We the People? Excellent job by both of them to call in on the final show before the brackets need to be locked in. Ladies and gentlemen, we got 3 people left, each one with a chance at greatness in this tournament. We start with the 2 seed in the Hood region.
I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Jake, I'll make everything as quick as possible. Hi. The Colts mascot, I think your defense against him, and I don't know if you have it with you, would have been the Jets Super Bowl ring, the kryptonite. That would have probably sent him back to the locker room,
So anyway, with me, David. If only I had it with me.
Yeah, I mean that would have been the answer. I think the Beast would have killed him. So we don't want to kill him. We just want to send him back to the locker room, But anyway, great shows all week. Chad Pennington, I listened to that interview, and I'm like, Jake must be doing something right in his life. His first hero of the Jets, and and he's sitting there talking to him, and he's a really good guy and all that kind of stuff. And then you were talking to the girl. I got back to your show, and the girl that you went to school with, you're in the same profession and everything. So, man, you got a good life going for you, Jake. Keep it up. And you know what? I'll buy into giving a pitch why people should vote for me, because I got turned on to the Jake Asman show. I mean, I was just fascinated by the whole thing. I love the callers, and I thought it would be neat just to call in one time. And me being a longtime Jets fan, it's just turned my whole life around. I love Jets talk all year round. I love the entertainment on your show and your callers, and I just hope you do it for many years to come. So that's why people should vote for me.
David, you're the best. You might be the nicest human being that regularly contributes to the show, and I wish you the best of luck in the tournament.
Thank you. I got my Iron UG. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Hell yeah, David T. Ladies and gentlemen, from David T. to the 1 seed in the Butter region. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello right now to this guy.
Hi, Jake. That Rumble wasn't a Rumble, was it? It sounded like they were having lunch together. Did it sound like
they were very simple there. They were.
I didn't think that was going to happen the way things been on my show and what heck I got from my show. I shocked that they were so nice to each other. That was shocking. But David T is very humble, but I do think Michael's going to win it all. Michael has the shot. But we have to get him better thing so he could be in it at least. At least he's a lot better than B-Mac sometimes. So B-Mac has no shot. Definitely no shot. No. So Jake, have a good trip home from Indianapolis.
Thank you, Bobby.
For all the courage. I think that Colt was a unicorn. It wasn't a Colt. Was it a unicorn? Yeah, I don't think it looked.
Yes.
I think you got to get your eyes fixed. I think it was like a horse, but it kind of looked like Barney if Barney was blue.
Yeah, Barney. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's go with Barney. Barney, if it was blue. Yes, I agree with you.
Okay. We're
Well,
going Barney.
enjoy your rest of the day. We'll see if you have a show later today. I'll stop
Are you doing 7 shows today, Bobby?
No, I only do
how about
two
instead of
shows.
doing a show, you try and find a full-time job today? Use the hours after the show to go and
I know.
apply
I'm
for
waiting
some
for
jobs.
my thing to get in the mail. Then I sign out the app. Remember, I have the forms to sign out, and the lady's going to call me back for interview.
Yeah, but you can apply to more than one job at a time.
Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's what
I'm
you
gonna
should
have
do instead of 2 7-hour shows.
No, I only had one show yesterday, 2 hours. Yeah, 2
Okay.
hours yesterday.
All right.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Farewell, Bob. Have a good day.
What?
Well, you know, I'm getting really freaking pissed. I thought I saw Gary's pretty wife. I need to get some sleep. I'm Bobby.
Bobby Midnight, everybody. By the way, join the Patreon if you haven't. I'll be announcing the schedule in advance for all the matchups. You get 10 raffle entries when you join the Patreon for the year. Shout out to Jeff Patrici Colo, Bobby Cruz, James Parent, Johnny Bobani, and Chris G, who all either joined the Patreon or upgraded their monthly memberships to the yearly subscription. They saved 15%, and they got 10 raffle entries. If you missed it earlier, last chance to be a part of our new raffle on this show. We already announced the winners of the 16th raffle. Curtis Martin signed helmet, Darrell Rivas signed helmet, Don Maynard signed helmet with the old school chin bar. Kyle Clifton in the raffle again. And by the way, this is probably the last long-form live show on the day because I'm leaving here in a few hours and we're going to break everything down and the place kind of clearing out. So if you want any raffle entries or want to support the channel, last chance to do it. Thank you, Kyle. You're in the next raffle for one with this. Kyle's membership gift went to Heavyweight. Thank you very much. Kyle Clifton, congrats, Heavyweight. I'm working on new emojis, by the way. We have gained enough membership to add another one. What should our next channel emoji be? Jets Johnny, Super Chat, 5 raffle entries. Johnny, you're the man. What a week. Thank you, Jake. Can't wait for the sauce jersey. Stop ducking me, Alan. Call in or concede. He'll never call in, Jets Johnny. He's retired from calling in. But Jets Johnny, you won the grand prize, the Sauce Gardner jersey. I'll get that sent out to you this upcoming week when I get back to New York. Thank you for your support as always, Johnny. You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, Mikey Midnight's here, but I can't see him. Mikey! The darkness has returned for Mikey. It's a mysterious black screen over Mikey Midnight. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring in the 1 seed in the Hood region.
It's G-Span. Guess what? I'm still looking for a job, bitches. It's G-Span. I'm just going to rub my hands together all day. It's G-Span. There's a whole lot of DNA on this couch. Let's hear it for G-Span. Look, it's my dead neighbor that I didn't kill.
Yo, Jake, I got this put on here.
Whoa, baby.
It's a temporary cast for 2 weeks, and then they're going to decide if they want to do a surgery or not.
It's a big decision that's looming.
Yeah.
How does this impact your Asmaniac Madness chances?
I hope people still vote for me. The main reason why I want people to still vote for me is like I'm the wild card in there. Like, well, it's not a wild card, but like I'm the 1 seed. If I go far, I'm happy. I have a feeling I'm going to make it to Sweet 16. I really would love to, but then I got to take down Peter or Nate or Yeti or Raven. I have myself making it to the Elite 8, but I have David T going up against Lane in the finals and Lane winning it all. I just hope people vote for me. You get some entertainment for me. I get my permanent marker today, so if y'all vote for me, I'll start doing crappy art on my cast because this is my writing hand. This isn't. I would love to be like, and I would love to like make it further, but like it's the people's votes. And just remember all the calls I've called in on shrooms, edibles, all that stuff. Just remember all
Roseanne
those
wants
calls.
to sign your cast sheets, man. Will you let her?
Yes, sure.
Okay, good. I'm happy for you.
Just remember all those calls after the Super Bowl call, all the funny moments. all the crazy moments I called in. I know facing Rob or We the People is going to be tough, but I think when make it to the Sweet 16, facing Peter, that's going to be my biggest challenge up until David T. But Peter's a classic. He's a good classic. So I'm hoping I go far. And Jake, I think you should try to sue for like $500,000 for that Colts thing. Like, come on now.
I know.
Put yourself in a penthouse with all the ladies. But before I go, Jake,
all the ladies. Who do you think I am?
My bad. It was just a joke. But like before I go, I
appreciate that. I think it's a compliment, but anyway.
Yeah, I mean, don't most women find redhead people hot? I know I find redhead women hot.
Apparently, Aaron Glenn's on McAfee, so I will listen to that and comment on anything he says on a future show. All right, Mike, Chiefs fan, best of luck. All right, I gotta go.
Thank you. One last thing
It's
before
time for Asmaniac Madness. Who will cut the nets down as the top Asmaniac for 2025? Some of you don't even care, but we do. Let's get to it.
I gotta go, Chiefs fan. You've had plenty of time to make your pitch. Damn it, you're a 1 seed for crying out loud. Warrior Spirits is always entertaining show, man. Love tuning in. I hope you all have enjoyed the Combine coverage. I think we've had some great interviews on the channel. Ian Rappaport, Chad Pennington, Mike Tannenbaum, Leger Douzable, Connor Rogers, Will Parkinson. I'm probably missing more. It's been crazy. We might not be done. Connor Hughes, Brian Costello, Nick Faria, Antoine Staley. If you're a Jet fan, this is the channel for you. You guys know that. My name is Jake Asman. Love all of you. Hit the like button on your way out of here. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. No other show is giving you as much Jet content day in, day out as this one, and that's because we have the best listeners in all of sports. Join the Patreon if you want info on Asmaniac Madness, the schedule. Tournament starts tomorrow. Chicken Soup Region. Gorman, Chris G. They start us off tomorrow. Stay tuned for an exact time on when that Saturday show will be. I'm traveling back to New York tonight, so we'll get it going at some point tomorrow. Thank you all. Love you all. Go Jets, and let the madness begin, baby. Asmaniac Madness starts tomorrow.
Who's gonna